Yeah, I can hear you. All right, what's up, y'all? It's the boy Tyrese here. Kid, you supposed to say your name, man. Okay, whatever. And welcome to Kid and Tyrese. Make sure you leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and thumbs up the videos. Free 99. Shout out to E, and click the notification bell. So first, Kid, did you hear or what you doing? Oh God, Kid. Can you hear me, Kid? You need a big. Oh my God, this nigga need. Come on, how he mess up? This nigga need a bean. How Kid mess up? It don't matter. All right, so the first topic that we're gonna get into is. So first we're doing finals predictions. So let me see if I get Kid back in here. Text action. Kid, let me put the link in the chat because come on, man. Come on, man. You're making us look bad now, man. All right. So first, it don't matter. We're going into the finals predictions. So as you know, that is the Miami Heat versus the Lakers, and as you know, the Lakers beat when gentlemen sweeping all through the West Conference. So they beat the Blazers in 5, beat the Rockets in 5, beat the Nuggets in 5. And as you know, that both the Heat and the Lakers are 10-3 through the playoffs. So they're almost there. So as you know,
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me?
So my prediction of what's going to happen is I think the Lakers are going to wind up sweeping the Heat. The reason why I believe the Lakers are going to sweep the Heat because, as you know, they already faced the Nuggets. Were a better version of what the Heat are. They're both well coached. They both have a great team, great team chemistry. The only thing difference with the Nuggets is that they have better stars and a better duo than Bam and Jimmy Butler. So I believe that when the Lakers face off, I think the Lakers are going to sweep them because, to me, the East is weak. And there's nobody that can really stop Bron and AD. So I don't think whatever Miami, they can do a zone, they can do a whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. The Lakers are going to wind up winning, and the Lakers are going to sweep the Heat. But
Tyrese,
come on, it's not Heat in 6. The Heat, they don't have a chance. Nobody in the Heat can guard Anthony Davis. I don't care if you got Bam. Who else you got? You got Bam. You got not Kelly Olynyk, whatever that dude's name is. But nobody can really guard AD. If you look at the matchups, okay, so through the point guard matchup, Dragic is going to beat KCP. That's just Dragic is too much of a scorer. But if you get shooting guard matchup, you got Jimmy versus Danny Green. Danny Green is not the same defender as he once was, and he's not been making as much shots. So that's gives a Heat a pass on that. Now small forwards, you got Jay Crowder versus LeBron James. And as you know, nobody can stop LeBron in the Heat. They have Jimmy, Jay Crowder, Andre Iguodala to make it difficult on Bron, but I don't think that they will be able to stop him. They will, of course, they're going to try to do whatever they can to come up with a W, but I don't think the Heat have what it takes to really stop LeBron. Mostly Iguodala is out of prime, so he's mostly a bench player, so he's only going to play maybe 10 minutes a game. Then you have Jay Crowder, who's actually the starter, but he's physical, but he's not as physical as LeBron. So I don't think he has a chance to really stop LeBron. Kid, what you think?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so I got Lakers. It's delaying. It's kind of a delay. But I got Lakers in 6. Yeah, bro, I got Lakers in 6.
Why you got Lakers
I
in
agree
6?
with pretty much everything you said. Because Miami, they're not gonna go out easy like that. Like, you saw how hungry they was against these teams. Nobody saw them going this far. Like, how many games did they lose this playoffs? 3.
They don't. Yeah, they lost 4.
Oh yeah, they lost 4. But
Yeah,
I
they
don't
lost
see them
4.
just going out easy like that. I can see the Lakers potentially losing at least 2 games.
How do you see the Lakers losing 2 games?
Bro, I know one game they're gonna choke. They're gonna choke one game at least, and then another game it's gonna be a close game. But I feel that he will pull the second game out, and then the Lakers they're gonna win in 6, but it's going to go to 6 games, bro. Just trust me on it.
Do you feel the Heat match up well with the Lakers?
A little bit, because I think the Heat's bench is better than the Lakers bench. Because the Heat's bench is by far better than the Lakers bench, bro. Like that's a benefit on the Heat side. And then for AD, depending on who's guarding him, he can potentially go off depending on who's guarding him. I think if Bam guards him, that's a good chance to stop AD. But overall, I think the matchup is Lakers have a bigger team, so they have a bigger advantage.
So, do you think the Heat will be able to stop LeBron?
No.
You think they'd be able to make it tough on LeBron?
Easy, but I don't see him dropping 4. Yeah, they can make it tough on him, especially Jimmy. I can see Jimmy making it tough for him, but I don't think he's gonna show up. LeBron's gonna show up, especially this is his former team. He's definitely gonna show up, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who do you expect to show up the most for the Heat?
I see. Dang, that's hard. Who do you think?
You think either Dragic gonna show up the best, or Jim? Go ahead.
I was gonna say Dragic, but
It all depends.
I don't know, bro.
Okay, so you got Dragic, you got Jimmy, you got Tyler Hero, you got Duncan Robinson, or Bam. You think Bam is the most that really needs to show up the most to actually have a chance in the series, or do you feel like
Jimmy?
Yeah,
Jimmy needs to step up. Jimmy needs to be the leading scorer, in my opinion. Like, if they really want to win, he should be the one who should try to do the most scoring.
Okay. So what do you think the Heat are most likely going to do to stop the Lakers from getting the paint?
What are they gonna do? They're gonna like just guard the perimeter. They're gonna double team like they be doing like they always like double team whoever has the ball on the perimeter. I think they're gonna try to do that to like avoid them driving in the paint, try to make them force threes that they really don't need. The Lakers don't really need to force. So I see them forcing them to shoot on the perimeter.
See on the perimeter. Okay. So do you think who do you think on starting the Lakers? You think they're gonna go back to McGee or they're gonna keep Dwight in the starting lineup?
They should keep Dwight because against them they need to keep Dwight. Plus he's been playing better than McGee anyway.
Yeah, McGee been trash. So most likely you need Dwight because Dwight is able to be more physical than McGee. As you seen with like Jokic was just moving the McGee out the way every single time.
Exactly.
And plus, McGee's not a great rebounder. He's not really that great a defender anymore. So most likely he's going to not play in the series. Most likely McGee is done.
So they need to start Dwight, bro.
Okay. Do you think Kuzma gonna come up big in this series or what?
I feel like he's gonna have like one good game, and then every other game's gonna be trash. I feel like he's not gonna show up at all.
He gonna show us. So at most, what you think he gonna average like at least 11 points?
Yeah, probably 10.
Probably 10 points in one big game,
points.
and the other games he just trash games, one big game.
Yeah, bro. And did you hear about how like it's like storyline because Tyler Herro's dating his ex?
Oh yeah. I see that. Well, I think he might try to do too much just because of that.
Exactly.
Because you seen the last series, he was coming at Michael Porter Jr. for no. He's just every time Michael Porter Jr. score on him, he's trying to get another basket at the other end.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
He's
I
gonna be
think
embarrassing himself in front of his ex.
I think he might play
funny shit.
Not that many minutes. I don't think he's. I think the moment may be too big for him.
Yeah, it's way too big for him.
What you think? What you think about that? You think Tyler Herro gonna come up more big than Kuzma?
For sure, bro. Yes, for sure. He's already seen what he's been doing. I think Herro ready for this, bro.
You think Herro's ready for this?
He definitely
going.
Yeah.
How do you think he's ready? With me? I said, why do you think he's ready?
You just saw what he just did, bro. He dropped 37. He's not scared. I know the dude ain't scared, bro. He's not scared. And he has that team around him too. He has they probably built his confidence is built up off that team. So that alone is he's gonna be playing way better than Kuz. I already see it.
All right. So who do you think needs to come up big for the Lakers to win this series?
Of course, Bron and AD, but other than them two, bro, that whole they need their whole team to show up, bro. Like,
I think mostly the three given. Oh, you kind of lagging. You good now?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay. So mostly, I think the three players that are going to obviously show up, Bron going to show up, AD going to show up, Rondo going to show up. The person who really needs to show up this series is Danny Green. Because no way he can be out there. No way he can be out there for like 30 minutes and not make at least three threes a game. The man's going 1 for 5.
Like you said.
He needs to at least get 3.
He needs to make at least 3 threes, bro, like you said.
At least 3. At least. He can't have him on the court if he's not going to shoot threes. If he's not going to make anything, he has to go. He got to go to the bench. This is where the Lakers really miss like Avery Bradley. I think Avery Bradley probably would have been starting over Danny Green. But they don't really have that many people out there, so they got to have him start.
Yeah.
And the last play, you already know.
JR needs to start. Sorry, no.
I don't know. I don't know. JR is trash. He's over. He's done. He's cooked.
Nothing. That nigga gonna be drunk on. He gonna be drunk on the court.
He gonna forget he even on the court. You remember what he did against the Warriors that time? He got the score.
That was some being worth.
Don't.
Shit.
I know. Yeah. I don't know. JR acting like he was E out there, but the thing is, that most likely, I think the factor is gonna be Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Okay. You think
Y'all
the Clippers
will hire
Phil
Jackson as head coach?
No.
That nigga don't want to coach no goddamn Paul George.
Paul George might be out there. I don't think he's actually going to be there anymore because they already got rid of Doc.
For real?
And they're not going to. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. So Doc Rivers got. They agreed to part ways yesterday. So
I saw that.
I think Paul George is next. Because as you know, you can't score 10 points in a game 7. Yeah. They're already breaking up the team.
Mm-hmm.
So Paul George is not going to be there no more. Phil Jackson, the dude basically retired. He's not really even worried about coaching anymore. I think he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. He's not going to coach no more. Most likely, I don't know who do you think should coach the Clippers?
Didn't they say like Tyronn Lue might replace him?
Yeah, he might replace him. But other than that, I think that's probably the best option too. But I don't really think. Do you think coaching was the problem was the reason the Clippers lost? Can you hear me, kid? Yeah, you lagging, man.
But can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can barely hear you, man.
Bruh. Hold up.
Okay. But most likely, yeah, George Paul is out of there. I think Montrezl Harrell is out there because I don't think the Clippers going to really pay him the amount of money that he actually wants. He's going to try to get the most money that he needs. So most likely, I think Montrezl, Paul George, Reggie Jackson's gone. Marcus Morris is gone. Only 2 people that I say that are safe on the Clippers are probably Lou Will and Kawhi. I don't think nobody else is actually going to maybe be on the team next year. Because as you see, the Clippers were only built just to beat the Lakers. They couldn't even handle Jokic. So obviously they're going to try to get another big man at least. Because Zubac, he was doing his best, and Montrezl Harrell couldn't guard Jokic. So you already know that they're most likely in free agency. They're going to try to look for a big man and probably another point guard. Because Lou Will. Go ahead.
Who's a free agent on the Clippers this year?
Montrezl Harrell.
I think he might stay.
Why do you think he might stay?
Why would he leave? I mean, like, where would he go?
He go where the money takes him, man. He trying to get paid.
I don't know about all that. I think he would stay.
Nah, he gonna get paid because he really didn't have a great playoffs either. If you look at it,
yeah,
he was too small for Jokic. He couldn't guard him. He wasn't really, all the Clippers were out of funk the whole playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't know if they should all just break up the whole entire team like after one season.
Who do you think needs to go then? You think anybody needs to go, or they should stay packed?
I think they should go for one more try. Go for one more run
staying together.
Team. Yeah. Maybe add
I
another
don't
piece.
think.
Maybe add another piece,
I
but
don't.
I don't know. I don't know who the other piece could be though. But I think they should go for one more try.
I don't think. I think since Dark Rivers is out
Dark
there,
Rivers. You
I think
said
they're not.
Dark. You said Dark Rivers,
Doc.
boy. Bean.
Doc.
Bean. Bean.
That's not a bean. That's not a bean.
That's a
That's
big
not a
ass
bean.
bean.
I was looking at something black over here, and I was thinking of Savage. But the thing is, you think Doc Rivers is overrated as a coach? No, I don't think he's overrated. It's just that I don't think the players are actually listening to Doc.
I don't think nobody like. He's not acclaimed as a coach like that. So I don't really see him as overrated, but he's not the best coach out there. Like, he's not among the best coaches in the league.
Do you feel like they actually respect Doc, or do you feel like they're actually lost respect as the series was going?
Who, the Clippers?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like they probably did lose a little bit of respect. But I don't think they like completely not respect him though. But I feel like there probably was no trust factor and shit.
Who do you think? Okay, so what was the biggest reason why they lost the 3-1 lead?
Because they fucking suck. Because of fucking Paul George. No.
So okay, you see George Paul is the biggest reason.
I don't know why I like blaming Paul George for some reason. It's just funny.
George Paul, yeah, the boy, he's trash. I think he's the one that's going to be out. I don't think he's still going to be there.
I don't see him. Where do you think he would go?
They're probably. I don't know where he would go. They probably. I don't know. They might try to get Giannis. I know everybody trying to get Giannis or whatever. So
no.
What they might do is put Paul George in. They might have to sacrifice like Lou Will or something like that if they actually want to get Giannis or something like that.
I don't see that happening.
You don't see that happening? You know they're gonna try it though.
Try to trade him?
Yeah, they're gonna try to trade Paul George.
Damn, I don't know about that, bro. We'll see.
Doc is just the the beginning of it. They're not stopping here.
Okay. Reese Damas. If you miss,
Reese Damas.
If you miss,
ain't no miss.
That's a bean.
Ain't no look. All right, I'm gonna say this now. If I'm wrong, of course I'll eat a bean. I'm not scared of the beans.
Nigga,
you think I'm scared? I'm not.
You're scared of beans. Shut the fuck up. You know you're scared of beans, nigga.
I am not scared of beans. I am not scared of beans.
You'll be crying and shit, boy.
What team do you think would want PG?
That's why I asked you. I don't see him leaving. I think he's staying, bro. But I don't know.
Okay, so what if he stays? What needs to get fixed?
He needs to get fixed. He needs to fix his game. Stop choking.
There's no fixing PG. He's been choking for the last 4 playoffs. This is who he is.
Damn.
The man trash.
I don't know what team would want to choke her then. I don't know what team wants to choke her. So I think he's just gonna stay. I don't see him leaving, but
most likely
I'm gonna be surprised.
He's probably gonna go to the East, I would say. Because if you look at it, or I say I don't know. I'm saying, but most likely, you think Miami? Well, nah, I don't think they would trade him to Miami to at least get like.
No. PG to Miami, that would mess it up.
That would mess up the Miami team.
Yes.
Okay. What if? Okay. So who you think? So do you think? Say like if he goes to, let me see, going to East. I don't think actually. So say like they trade him to the Pacers or something like that.
Boy, they're not trading Paul George. I don't see this happening.
Paul George is gone.
No, he's not. Did you make this up yourself?
You think I'm not making up myself, Paul George is gone, man.
Did you like? Are you the only one who thinks that Paul George is leaving?
I am not the only one, but I will say this now: Paul George is gone.
No, he's not. They're not gonna get rid of him just like that. I don't know, bro. Yeah, there's like there's nobody to trade for him, bro.
You know they're gonna go for Giannis. Giannis is the biggest one that they can trade for.
I don't know about all that. Social Breezy.
What's up, man?
Hold on.
Do you think the Clippers gonna stop just as Doc? You think anybody else gonna be gone?
Wow.
Hello? Sorry.
We can hear you.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. What's up?
All right. So do you think anybody else is gonna be out of the Clippers this season?
Trez Harrell is leaving. He's out of there. He's leaving that team. He's running from the Clippers as fast as he can. They're probably not going to resign Joakim Noah. They might trade Paul George. They're trying to get Giannis, I heard. They might be trying to package. They might try to package, who knows, Paul George and Zubac. They'll probably package Paul George, Zubac, and maybe Reggie Jackson for Giannis and like a Brook Lopez or a Kyle Korver. Because I know that they probably want Giannis or somebody who's closer to a superstar because Paul George isn't it. He's not it.
Yeah.
Do you think we should fully give up on Paul George now, or what? Or you think now's the time?
I don't think we should fully give up on Paul George because Paul George has one last chance, in my opinion. If there's one more postseason where he's less than great, yeah, it's over. But because he wasn't the worst. They didn't lose the Nuggets series because of Paul George. Paul George was actually good in the Nuggets series. If you look at how he played, his averages, he was playing well. That Nuggets series was thanks to Lou Williams and Trez Harrell not showing up. Pat Beverly wasn't making a difference. Reggie Jackson didn't do much. Nobody could guard Jokic, and Doc Rivers was coaching like he was what's his name? Jim Boylan. So I don't know. I think that he's a really good regular season player, and he's been able to translate it to the playoffs before. The reason I still have given him one more year is because he was really good in the playoffs when he was on the Pacers. Like, they went to 7 against LeBron. That was him. Even after the reason they started losing was because he fucked Roy Hibbert's girlfriend, and Roy Hibbert turned into a scrub. So but other than that, he was good in the playoffs when he was in his Indiana days, and on OKC he was always injured, is what they told us. So he has one more year, and if he doesn't do it by next year, then I'm just like, I think the post leg breaking, he's just not going to be the same playoff player he was before.
Yeah, that's what I said too. Like they like, I think they're gonna have like one more run, like one more try to go for it, one more. But after that, I think it's a wrap after that.
Yeah, no, I think the Clippers. I don't think, bro. Honestly, for the organization and their coaching, firing Doc Rivers was the right move. For Kawhi staying, firing Doc Clippers was the wrong move, because they said Kawhi. Like, there have been multiple things. Uncle Dennis, like, one of the main reasons for Kawhi going to the Clippers was he wanted to play under Doc Rivers. Now that they fired Doc Rivers, unless they get somebody who's able to fill in that hole for Kawhi, I see Kawhi leaving after this year, bro.
Damn.
I think that if they don't get it together, I see Kawhi leaving after this year. Because let's look at it. The Clippers, people are trying to act like their franchise is in shambles, like they're not going to be good next year. No. The Clippers messed up. They choked hard. But let's look at the facts about why they choked. They got out. If what's his face? If Doc Rivers if he coached in the second round, like, say, Nick Nurse or Brad Stevens or Eric Spoelstra coached in their respective series, the Clippers would have won that shit in 6 and 5. But one of the main problems that people do not talk about, because Kawhi choked Game 7, but the series as a whole was not Kawhi's fault. It was Doc Rivers. The fact that it went to 7 games was Doc Rivers' fault. So I think them next year, if they can get a competent coach, like, I'd say, like, Nate McMillan is a good coach. He's on the market. They could rehire Steph Van Gundy. They can hire if Mark Jackson wants to come back to coaching, they can
Yeah, I was
hire
about to say Mark Jackson.
if he wants to come back to coaching, he's a hire. They can honestly, Sam Cassell has been trying to become a coach forever. And Sam Cassell has good basketball IQ. What I've heard of him as being an assistant coach, he could become their coach if they really wanted him to. It can always be like I don't know why people thinking this is the end. Like this can be a freaking a Cavalier situation where it's your first year, stuff didn't work out how you wanted to, you fire David Blatt, you bring in Ty Lue, and then you win a championship the next year. That's how it could be with the Clippers, and where firing Doc Rivers is the move they needed to make a step forward. Same with Luke Walton. I think that, and also just getting they don't need more help because, to be honest, on paper, they have one of the best benches, if not the best bench in the NBA. The problem was it was on paper. I don't know if it was the bubble. I don't know if it was the playoffs. I don't know what it was. The bench that they have that looks great on paper did not show up. So you cannot win a championship if with two players alone. And you especially can't win a championship with one player playing great, one playing okay, and everybody else playing trash. That's how it was during the Nuggets series. Kawhi played great this series except Game 7 where he played like a G League player. Paul George was good for more in the series more than he wasn't, and everybody else sucked. Nobody else was performing. So I think that I don't think they should hire D'Antoni. I think that's the number one way you don't go to the playoffs if you hired Mike D'Antoni. But other than that, I think and they can also get a new coach from college. Like the college coaches don't work a lot of the times, but there might be a few gems that do. Like Brad Stevens was a college coach. You can find somebody that's already in the system to coach. Like Eric Spoelstra was a coach. He was a video manager in the Miami Heat franchise, and then he worked his way up to a assistant coach, then became a head coach eventually. Like you don't just need to look at who got fired and who's on the market. There's still a bunch of good coaches out there that might be able to lead the team. And I think also one thing else they need is they need veteran leadership because Kawhi is a lead by example, but he's not the vocal leader. And we saw that we heard the person who was trying to be the vocal leader was PG, but the players didn't respect PG, and that's why a lot of stuff failed. We heard people were eye rolling in the locker room when he talked about running it back next year. We heard about people getting mad that he wasn't going to practice sometimes, that he was sitting out games sometimes, because a lot of people felt they were just as good as Paul George. That's the problem where you had a person who was trying to be the vocal leader, but he was not respected. Kawhi is respected in that franchise, but that's not who he is. They need, like last year, Kawhi had Lowry. Kawhi was the lead by example. The vocal leader was Kyle Lowry. It happens all the time. LeBron's both. Kobe is both. Michael Jordan is both. Kawhi is a lead by example. I don't know if he's vocal. From what I see, he's not that vocal type of leader. He may be in the locker room, but he's not that galvanize the troops kind of leader as we may think that we may need them to be. That's why I think that the best trade they could possibly make is not for Giannis, it's for Chris Paul. But they can't do that trade because Chris Paul is never going back to the Clippers. He's not.
Well, since Doc gone, you think he will actually want to return now? Because I think his biggest problem was Doc.
Yeah, his biggest problem was Doc, and honestly, maybe because the people he hated, the people that he had the problem with, are all gone from the Clippers. Blake Griffin gone. Austin Rivers gone. Doc Rivers gone. The management even changed. Like how long has Steve Ballmer been the owner of the Clippers franchise? How long has he been in charge? Like 3-4 years?
Yeah,
probably
years.
4 years or something like that.
4 years. Like he was there right as Chris Paul was making he got to the Clippers right as Chris Paul made his exit. So he's not really acquainted with Steve Ballmer. So maybe he'd be open to returning. Like maybe it's a Dwight situation where Dwight was open to returning to Los Angeles. Maybe it's the same thing with Chris Paul. We may be able to see, but at the way that it is now, they need a veteran leader, but they also need another person that they can rely on when Paul George wants to play like Pandemic P. And you can't like Paul George, regular season Paul George is good enough to get you to a championship as your number 2. Playoff Paul George, not so much. They can't like say Kawhi had a Jimmy Butler, maybe because Jimmy's consistent. Jimmy's a really good leader, but at the same time, when you look at Jimmy's production, Jimmy's numbers don't show everything he does on the court. So maybe he's your vocal leader, but at the same time, it's not better than some of the options out there as a player. Like, that's the Clippers. It's a very interesting dynamic because the problem with the Clippers is that if everything's clicking for them, if their bench is playing well, if PG's playing like Paul George, not Pandemic P, he's playing like Paul George. If Kawhi is Kawhi, if Doc is coaching well, the Clippers are destroying the Nuggets and they're defeating the Lakers.
I don't know. You got to back up there.
If everything is clicking for the Clippers, they beat the Lakers.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. They let Jokic control the goal game.
Yeah.
What do you think they're gonna do against AD?
Yeah. Who let Jokic control the whole game? Doc didn't know what to do. Didn't know what coverage to put against Jokic. You could have had a 2-man hedge every time he entered the. You could have had a 2-man hedge to hedge out towards the paint every time Jokic decided to go in the low post. But no, you decided to have him have a one-on-one with 6'9" Montrezl Harrell to see Jokic shoot a fader over him or back him down into the low post. There are a lot of different coverages and different play setups and different defensive schemes that Doc just neglected to use against Jokic. I think his game plan was that he was going to let Jokic go off and lock down everybody else, because that's what you would do against a LeBron or a Kawhi. You'd let them do what they need to do, but you keep everybody else from scoring. But that didn't work, as we saw here, because they didn't even do a good job of keeping everybody else from scoring. Doc was the reason that Jokic was destroying their shit, because Doc did not have good defensive schemes. Even if you don't have a big man, you can still have some ways to be able to defend against a big man. We saw this with the Warriors. They did not have a traditional big man, but they were still be able to defeat teams who had a good big man. Like, it's not hard. It's not impossible. And even then, at the same time, the Clippers they don't have anybody that's able to contain AD. They don't have anybody that's able to hold AD. They have a body to put there so AD won't be able to drive to the paint as much as he wants. Zubac is tall enough and big enough and where there's a body there that AD can't just run by 6'8" players and dunk on people. But Zubac can't hold AD, but he's a body there. It's like the theme with it's like the Clippers preparing for LeBron. Nobody's saying Marcus Morris can guard LeBron. Nobody's saying Paul George can guard LeBron. But their bodies to throw at LeBron to make it harder for him, to make his job hard. That's what a big body like Zubac is. There is no way. AD might average 35 on Zubac, but Zubac is big enough and where he'll make things harder for AD than Harrell.
Zubac is too slow. He can't guard. That's why the problem he couldn't stand next to Jokic. He was too slow.
And that's the problem. That's the problem that I said, and where you cannot have Doc's defensive schemes didn't work because he tried to have what's his face?
Montrez.
He tried to have Zubac and Montrez be on an island by themselves trying to hold Jokic and make sure everybody else. Why are you playing man-to-man? Why are you playing man-to-man coverage and where when the man setup happens, Jokic is better than everybody on your center rotation? That's what I'm saying. With Zubac, he'll be able to be a body for AD in the low post, but AD is working him. See, that's what I said. The Clippers do not have any bigs that will be able to hold AD, but that's why they went and got Joakim Noah. Because the best thing you can do when you don't have a talented big is you can get big bodies that are able to be in the paint, so it makes it harder for the people there. The problem with Zubac is if Zubac was more mobile and Zubac had a little more skill, maybe I'd say he'd be able to keep up with AD more. But AD is way too athletic and way too unfit for Zubac to keep up. Zubac is a more type of sit and have rim protection defender. He can't go out into the perimeter. That's the same problem that lies with Rudy Gobert. He has a Rudy Gobert problem. AD, we saw what AD did to Rudy Gobert. He exposed him because as soon as AD went to the perimeter, he couldn't really do much. And AD is a threat from the post as much as he is from the perimeter. So when you have centers like Zubac and Rudy Gobert, he's able to destroy these centers because He's mobile and his skill. He has the body of a center with the skill of a stretch forward. So he's able to do as many things as he wants as the offensive floor, and you need a stretch big that's able to keep up with him, which is why I think Bam is a really fucking good matchup for AD. Despite the fact that Bam is undersized when it comes to height, Bam is a really good fucking matchup for AD because Bam is a versatile center, and where he's as athletic as AD is. He can jump out the building. He's fast. He's in shape. And he is able to defend at a high level from the perimeter to the post. So that's a good matchup. But when it comes back to the Clippers, not to get off track, when it comes back to the Clippers, Zubac, the main problem with the Clippers against the Lakers is, like I was saying at the start of the year, the Clippers have a chance to beat AD if they do the thing that they did with Jokic, but they do it at a better level. Keep everybody else from scoring. Let AD go off. The thing about the Clippers is the Clippers can hold everybody on the Lakers to a reasonable – they can't hold LeBron, but they can try and contain LeBron from scoring 40 to scoring maybe 25. But they can do it to everybody. They can lock everybody else down, and they just have to try their best against Anthony Davis. It's going to be futile, but they can try their best. That's what the Warriors did whenever they faced good bigs. He's like when I think about it, Harrell is getting demolished by AD. Zubac is getting demolished by AD. Joakim Noah, that's not even a question. The biggest problem that lies with them is AD. That's a matchup nightmare. But I still believe the Clippers, if everything was clicking for them, they'd be able to they'd be able to defeat the Lakers at a point if everything's clicking for them. That's why I said if. That's a very high possibility because it's very rare so often that everything clicks for a team. We've seen it with the Warriors before. Right now, everything is clicking for the Lakers. If we saw it with the Clippers, I believe the Clippers have a chance because a lot of people don't want to say it, but whenever they play each other, Kawhi turns into a different nigga against LeBron. Kawhi against LeBron turns into a different nigga. We saw a 22-year-old Kawhi playing way above his talent level.
Hold on.
A 22-year-old Kawhi played above his talent level in the finals. He went from a role player to a finals MVP. And you may say he got a finals MVP because of defense, but if you actually watch the series and how Kawhi played, Kawhi was playing well. He just doesn't get the touches. He didn't have the offensive game but the defense was there. The athleticism was there. The basketball IQ to be able to read passing lines and defend and offensive schemes was there as a 22-year-old.
It's easy to look good against next to Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Manu, and your coach Popovich. I mean, it's very easy to look good, but he scored 9 points the first two games and got the Finals MVP.
Wait, but that's what I just said, Tyrese. That's him looking good. It's not about the offensive end. I just said the reason Kawhi looked great was his defense. Kawhi was the best defender on the team that year. Tim Duncan was washed. Tony Parker, they said it out of his mouth. Tony realized that Tim Duncan was washed, so he was trying to do everything in his power to – Tony Parker was basically trying to ball hog in 2014. They said he knew Tim Duncan was washed, so he felt like there was going to be more weight on his shoulders, so he was trying to do too much, and it got on the team's nerves, and where Pop had to be like, you're trying to do too much. Manu was not the same player that he was back in the day. Manu was old. Like, they were all out of their primes. Offensively, nobody's talking about Kawhi offensively. Kawhi didn't have an offensive game until 2016. He couldn't shoot, or Kawhi could barely shoot or dribble coming into the league. He could barely shoot when he was in 2014. The reason he won Finals MVP was because he was the best defender on that team. If you go back and watch it, he turned into a different nigga defensively in that Finals. He was clamping up on, and you may say, "Oh, he didn't do." People cannot just look at the point averages when it comes to defense. He was making LeBron pass. He would stop LeBron from driving the post, and LeBron would have to pass the ball out. Yeah, that doesn't show up on LeBron's sheet because they can't attract for that. But if you watch the game, you see how many times he forces LeBron to kick to an outlet because he keeps him from going to the paint. It was the exact same thing with Giannis. You see how many deflection he gets in the passing lane. You see how much he gets LeBron to call. You see how many times he gets to call a timeout because he's disrupting the offensive scheme with his defense. He was a defensive disruptor. It doesn't always show up on the point averages. Sometimes it shows up on the efficiency averages. But then again, you have to always look at that. If you see it in the 2013 finals, he was doing a good job on LeBron in 2013. LeBron had 13 game 1, 17 game 2, 15 game 3. He didn't score above 20 until game 5 or game 4. Like, defensively, Kawhi was that nigga. And now he has a better offensive game than almost every player in the league, bro. He turns into a different nigga when he plays LeBron, bro. It's the same thing when LeBron plays Paul George. LeBron dominates Paul George. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's a talent thing. Whenever LeBron plays Paul George, that nigga just has him dead to rights. It's the same thing with Kawhi to LeBron.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. Kawhi, I mean, yeah. The Kawhi deserved the MVP, the Finals MVP that year in 2014. Obviously, his defense and everything, but he only got it because he was just guarding LeBron. LeBron still got his averages there. He still scored 28 points and had 7 rebounds, 8 assists. So he wasn't. When they still get your average, you're not really stopping him. He just made it very difficult on him.
But yeah, that's the thing. You made it very difficult. And even then, when you look at some of the game averages, 22 or 25 for LeBron seems like, oh, he had a good game. But 25 for LeBron in the finals isn't good. 25 for Kobe in the finals isn't good. 25 for Michael Jordan in the finals isn't good. When we hold these superstars to a level, it's saying that you have to score a certain amount to where that's a good game for you in the finals. A 24-point game is a decent regular season game. In the finals, it's unacceptable. We hold these superstars to a different standards when it comes to a higher level of play. So maybe when you look at 26, when you see, LeBron had 25, 7, and 3, you think, he had a good game. But then again, in the finals, look at how many deflections Kawhi had. Look at the efficiency. Did LeBron shoot? Did he shoot 5 for 7, or did he shoot 8 for 22? Like, you have to look at that.
Well, LeBron not even a scorer. Even though he might score 25, he might get 25, 15 rebounds, 17 assists. So that's still showing he's showing up.
In that series, LeBron was the best scorer on that team. By 2014, D-Wade was done.
D-Wade was done.
By 2014, D-Wade was done. Like, he was the best scorer on the team. Like, I'm even looking at it now. Hold on.
What you think, kid?
Yeah, didn't D-Wade have injury problems during that finals too? The 2014 finals?
Yeah. His knees were done. They were gone.
Yeah.
His knees were gone.
Yeah, I remember that.
So why is that finals loss so on LeBron when D-Wade was he's pretty much out the door, pretty much watching stuff?
2014 is on them as a team. And and it's on, if you look at what's it called? If you look at LeBron as a little, it doesn't take away from how good LeBron is, but it also just showed that there was a clear difference in level in where LeBron had no answer for the Spurs. He had no answer for the Spurs. We saw the year before, without Ray Allen, they would have got beat in 6. Without Ray Allen, they would have got beat. And nobody's saying Ray Allen saved LeBron's legacy, but I am saying that Ray Allen saved the Miami Heat that series.
Yeah. That was crazy.
I'm not talking about
what LeBron did up to that point, that didn't mean anything?
It did mean something, but at the same time, that would have meant nothing if Ray Allen hadn't hit that shot. LeBron can score 20 points, but if they lose the game, they lose the game. And the only reason they won the game was because of Ray Allen. LeBron went 0 for 3 in the last, I think it was 2 minutes of the game. He had a turnover. LeBron couldn't score in the last 2 minutes of that game. Nobody could score. Everybody was throwing up shots. Everybody was trying to go to the – nobody could score. Ray Allen saved the Miami Heat that series. I'm not saying he saved LeBron's legacy, but he did save the Miami Heat in 2013.
So which finals losses do we count against LeBron? That really – it was his fault.
2011.
Is that the only one?
And 2007, it wasn't his fault, but he definitely gets a piece of the blame. People say look at his roster, but if you look at how LeBron performed in that finals, that nigga was playing awful. He played like shit. He played like ass. Complete garbage. And like it's very few finals that will be somebody's fault, but you definitely have a blame in. 2007, LeBron has blame. 2011, it's LeBron's fault. 2014, LeBron has some blame. 2015, it's LeBron has no blame. He lost his co-stars. That wasn't his fault. That wasn't his fault. He lost his co-stars. 2017, KD dominated them niggas.
KD destroyed that nigga.
Yeah, you can say, you can say it's the Warriors with KD, but no, I'm talking about individual performance. KD outplayed LeBron, not Golden State outplaying Cavaliers. KD outplayed.
KD was lighting that nigga up, bro.
KD was outplaying the fuck out of LeBron in 2017.
Oh my god, that shit was crazy.
I'm not talking about teams as individual players. Kevin Durant was outperforming LeBron James. Okay, in 2018, that wasn't his fault. This nigga took J.R. Smith, Chetty Austin, and Jeff Green to the finals.
Okay, so why do people use 3-6 for LeBron so much if most of these finals losses was not his fault?
Well, because if you look at the 3-6, let me see, 2007, 2011, 2017, 2014. 3 out of the 4, you could say 4 out of those 6 losses he had blame in. And then one of them was really his fault. Only one of those 6 losses was his fault, and 3 of them he had blame as to why they lost. And it just goes to show that overall impacting, it goes to show no matter how good of a player you are, you may not impact winning like that. Like Tracy McGrady was that nigga, but Tracy McGrady did not impact winning. He never got out the first round.
Yeah.
Hold on, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so let's say if, including this year, LeBron wins like 3 more and he goes 6-6. Is he going to be moved up? Are we going to continue putting him in the GOAT conversation, or is it already over?
If he wins this year,
this year and in the next 2 years. If he goes 6, it goes 6-6. Now
6-6. I mean, his legacy, it helps his legacy, but his skills as a player, he's past his prime. There's no getting better in terms of how good you are as a player because your prime is over. Like, we saw how good you were at your peak, and you weren't the best player at your peak. So that ship has sailed. Like LeBron right now is out of his player prime, as in he's not playing the best basketball he's ever played in his career. So in terms of how good he is as a player, that ship has sailed. No matter how, unless in the next 3 years he plays the best he's ever played in his career, then the conversation changes. It helps his legacy, but in terms of his skill as a player, that ship has sailed. You're not in your peak anymore. We saw how good you were when you were at your best, and you still weren't better than Michael Jordan. And in my opinion, you still weren't better than Kobe Bryant. So
yeah, he's not better than Kobe.
But for the argument for Kareem wasn't the best towards the end of his career, and I think he went like 5-5 in the finals, and people still had him at that time the greatest player in the world.
Well,
of all time.
Well, that's because Kareem also in his peak was the best player in the world at the time, and Kareem.
So you don't. No, go ahead.
And Kareem. So it's a combination of both. Kareem's legacy got better, but also his skill as a player. Him in his peak, he was that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem,
you don't believe LeBron was the best at his peak?
In the NBA, he was the best in the NBA. But when we look at all-time NBA players, at LeBron's peak, he was 3rd best in my opinion.
Okay,
that's fair.
He was at LeBron's peak. If I'm taking everything into account, LeBron's the best LeBron has ever played, how good he's played consistently over his career, his legacy, his accolades, I have LeBron at 3rd best because he's not surpassing Mike and he's not surpassing Kobe for me. That's what Kareem skill-wise was great, and Kareem legacy-wise was great. That's why for Kareem is a lot of people's number 3 or number 4. Yeah, maybe even number 2 for some people. I don't know. But, I think LeBron, if LeBron wins 3 more rings, it does help his argument for does he have a better legacy than Jordan? I still think the answer is no, because it took you twice as many finals to get the same amount of rings as Jordan. But then again, the conversation may open up. If he wins this year, I don't think anything changes.
Nothing changes this
year? Not at all. maybe he gets the most that changes this year is that the conversation for who's the best in the world ceases for some people, for a lot of people. But in terms of all time, nothing changes this year if he wins. For me, I can't speak for other people. Personally, for me, if LeBron James wins the championship this year, and I know he's going to win the championship, Lakers in 4, nothing changes for his all-time legacy. Yeah, you won, but you're still not better than Kobe. Sorry. Kobe went to 3 straight finals with player. Who do you guys think is more talented all time? Not greater, more talented all time. Anthony Davis or Paul Gasol?
Anthony Davis. More talented, right? You said more talented, right?
More talented, yeah.
Yeah,
AD is more talented.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument that AD is more talented. So let's say AD is more talented. Kobe went to 3 straight finals with somebody who was less talented than Anthony Davis. Kobe was. I'm not gonna go on Kobe. That's a whole different thing. Let's look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan in his age 35 season didn't just win the finals. He won Finals MVP, an MVP, All-Star Game MVP, first team All Defense, and first team All NBA at 35. So legacy-wise, Michael Jordan was still doing better than you were at 35.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see him touching Mike at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the time for LeBron to touch Michael Jordan's legacy is over. There's time for LeBron James to touch Michael Jordan as a player is over. I don't think that's not something he can touch anymore. Same thing with Kobe. I don't think that's something he can surpass anymore. Mm-hmm. LeBron is falling out of. Still, LeBron's 35 is better than 98% of NBA player in history's 35. LeBron at 35 LeBron is a 35-year-old beast.
Mm-hmm.
Him being able to do this in his 17th year at 35 is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was a beast at 35, and I feel like Kobe would have been, but the Achilles derailed his career.
Yeah.
At the same time, LeBron, the ship has sailed on LeBron skill-wise because LeBron right now is not as good as he ever was in his career. His prime has passed, so you can never be skill-wise better than Michael Jordan because at your peak of a player, you weren't better than him. And how much better can you get in the down years of your career? Not much at all. So
okay, so say like if LeBron gets the most scored points of all time, he gets higher in assists all time, he gets the 3 rings. Is he doesn't move up ahead of Jordan to you or no?
No,
because first the all-time point thing doesn't mean much to me at all.
Yeah.
Karl Malone is number 2, and Karl Malone is not a top 10 player in all time. I don't have Karl Malone in my top 10 all time, and that nigga's number 2 on the list of points scored. So the points list doesn't mean much to me. Assists, assists doesn't really mean much when it comes to Jordan because I've always said LeBron is a better passer than both Michael and Kobe. He's a bit out of Michael, Kobe, and LeBron. LeBron is the best passer, not a question at all.
Yeah.
3 more rings. Like I said, final rings are not everything. They should not be everybody's only argument. But then again, rings are something. And I'm sorry, but you taking twice as many finals to just match Jordan in rings looks bad. It looks bad. So rings-wise, Jordan still has you beat even if you win 3 more. And the fact that this nigga has never seen a Game 7 in his career. When it comes to finals wins, there's no question.
This nigga never lost in the finals, bro.
Nigga's never lost in the final, and he has never seen a Game 7. It's not a question. When it comes to what's it called? What do you say? 3 more rings? But I think that even if he does all of that, LeBron's spot in the top 2, top 3, however people have it, it can't be questioned. If LeBron wins a ring this year, I don't think that anybody not named Jordan or Kobe is better than LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he does what you said he did, you can't argue Kareem is better than him. You can't argue Magic. You can't argue Larry Bird. You can't argue Shaq. I think LeBron has solidified himself as a top 2, top 3 player in NBA history. But at the same time, for me personally, even if he does all of that, he's not better than Kobe or Michael Jordan. Because the same thing is, I've seen Kobe and Jordan do more with less than LeBron. That's another reason that I have them higher. I've seen them do more with less. I saw Kobe take the Mavericks to 7 games. Not the Mavericks, sorry. I saw Kobe go up 3-1 against the Suns with nobody. This nigga had Smush Parker, and he went 3-1 against the number 1 seed in the NBA.
For real.
Okay, so let's
Kelsey
compare
Kobe was
the
a
worst
goat.
team.
What's up?
So do you think the 2018 Cavs are not that bad?
No, I think that's why I said I give LeBron a lot of credit for 2018. But at the same time, we have to add in context. Kevin Love was better than anybody Kobe had from 2005 to 2007. Kevin Love was better than anybody Kobe had. And LeBron had Kevin Love. A lot of people forget about him in 2018. Again, LeBron brought them to the finals, which I do give him a lot of credit for. But at the same time, the West in the 2000s compared to the East in 2018 is not even comparison. 2018 was out of the last 5 years, I want to say 2018 is probably the weakest the Eastern Conference has ever been for going to the finals for LeBron. Because look at who LeBron had to beat. He had to beat the Pacers, whose best player was a 20-something, 23, 24-year-old Victor Oladipo. He had to beat the Raptors, and I give him credit for the Raptors because they were the 1 seed. But let's keep it a buck. LeBron owns the Raptors like they're his property. No matter
what's his name, LeBronto.
LeBronto.
Yeah, LeBronto. It's still LeBronto.
That was just something mental. No matter who they had before LeBron went to the Lakers, LeBron destroyed Toronto. That nigga owned real estate in Toronto, and he owned real estate in their arena. That nigga destroyed Toronto every second he had. It did not matter if they had DeRozan. It didn't matter if they had Lowry. It didn't matter if they had Chris Bosh even. That nigga always destroys Toronto. And in the Eastern Conference Finals, he got taken to 7 games by 19-year-old Jason Tatum, 20 or 21-year-old Jaylen Brown, and Al Horford. He got taken to 7 games and almost lost, and he only won by 10 points in Game 7. So at the end of the day, I have to look at context. LeBron does get a lot of credit for carrying scrubs to the finals, but then again, his competition in 2018 was the easiest it's ever been. It's in the finals.
So do y'all believe that pretty much these top Michael Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron are locked for now?
Yes.
As the best players?
That's mine, yeah.
Yeah, I have that's mine. In terms of locked, I think if this is the only way I can see it being, LeBron's career isn't done yet. So I don't think this will happen. But if LeBron if he turns into like a scrub in these last 4 years, like say the Heat beat them in the finals, and then for the next 3 years, LeBron never wins in the finals, or he gets put out in the second round, then LeBron has an argument for being lower than Kareem. So I don't think it's locked for LeBron yet just because his career isn't over. In my opinion, he's solidified. But I'm saying just in terms of a layman's terms, he's not technically locked yet.
Good point.
So what does KD has to do to get in top 3?
Top 3?
Damn.
I don't know if
KD.
I don't think KD's ever going to make top 3. He's already 32 and he's not even top 10 yet.
Oh, so he's not 10? So where does KD rank for you all time?
Maybe
top 12, top 15.
Yeah.
You got him at 15 too, kid?
Yeah. He's definitely in that conversation, but not top 10.
I don't think KD's top 10 yet. I think because my top 10 is you have to go top 10 best or top 10 greater. Because if we're going top 10 best, KD can get into the top 5 because we've seen, I don't know of anybody who's more skilled than KD. There's not many. And I think when I mix in your skill, how good you were as a player, and your legacy, LeBron, Kobe, Michael Jordan, Kareem, Larry Bird, Magic, Shaq, Bill Russell, Hakeem, Wilt, Tim Duncan, like all these niggas have more of a claim for top 10 than KD does. when it comes to mixing in skill with legacy. I think for KD to enter my top 10, he has to win a ring in Brooklyn as the best player on a non-super team. Because what's it called? This team in Brooklyn, he built it up in terms of the fact that he didn't go to a 73 win team. He went to a completely new team with a bunch of rookies and a bunch of bench players and a bunch of young players, and now he's turning them into a title contender. I think he has to win a couple rings in Brooklyn. I think maybe he might have to get an MVP season again. Maybe he'll make more all defensive teams, more all NBA teams, and consistently play at a high level for the next couple years. And I think for him to even make it into my top 8, he has to get in the finals for the next 4 years straight. Because LeBron has made it to the last 9 finals out of 10. Like, you have to make it to at least 4 finals straight for you to enter my top 8 or top 10. So KD has a long way to go. When it comes to legacy-wise and skill, he's not close at all.
That's good.
Skill-wise,
do you feel like Kate? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say skill-wise, he's close. Legacy, not at all. Continue. Sorry.
Do you think KD will go down as the most skilled small forward of all time?
Yeah.
Maybe scoring-wise, all around, no.
Oh, yeah, bro. Larry Bird at passing.
LeBron and Larry Bird all around are more skilled. Like, I think Larry Bird has an argument for being the most skilled small forward ever because he's a top 5 shooter in history. He's a really good defender.
He's a good rebounder too.
He's a really good rebounder. He was averaging 10 rebounds since his rookie season. Since he entered the NBA, he was averaging 10 rebounds. He won a back-to-back-to-back MVP. He won an MVP 3 years in a row. Only one other player has done that in NBA history. Wilt. So Larry Bird is a top 8 scorer in history. He's a really good defender. He's a top 10 passer. He's a better passer than KD. He's not a better passer than LeBron, but he's a better passer than KD. Larry Bird really had no flaws in his game besides his athleticism. So in terms of skills, I don't think KD's the most skilled all time. No.
On the skill list, where does he rank then? If he's not the best, where does he rank?
Like in terms of small forwards?
Yeah, small forwards. Yeah. So
I have Larry Bird number 1, LeBron number 2, KD number 3. Because KD's skill all comes scoring. LeBron and Larry Bird have skill in other areas than scoring.
What about you, kid?
Yeah, I had to agree because I was gonna say Scottie Pippen ahead of KD for like all around because Scottie Pippen is a good passer too, but KD just he just takes that third spot for me.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say scoring wise, I think KD is more skilled than both of them. If we're going skilled scoring, KD is a top 5 skilled scorer in history. Maybe top 3, honestly. Skilled scoring, nigga, he's 7 foot and he can shoot over anybody. He plays like a point guard. We've never seen that before.
And he got handles.
The only thing that bogs him down is that it's just scoring. He's a good defender, but he's not a more skilled defender than Larry Bird, and he's not a more skilled passer than either of them. So,
yeah.
Sorry, you were saying, Tyrese?
Oh yeah, I was about to say so. So out of all the new players now, do you think Luka or I forgot what's the guy from New Orleans? His name Zion has a chance to be the best small forward in the future?
Zion's a power forward.
Well, Zion's
he plays same thing.
In terms of in the future, I think that the fight for number 1 player in the future is going to be between Luka and Tatum, I think, because as of right now, Luka is better than Tatum, and Luka is younger. So in their primes, Luka might be the best player in the world, and Tatum might be number 2 because Luka is he's a better scorer. Tatum's a better shooter than Luka. He's a better defender, and rebounder. No, Luka's better. That's debatable. The rebounding is debatable because Tatum was averaging 11 rebounds in the playoffs, so that's debatable. But in terms of
Hey,
Tatum's a better shooter. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was about to say, the other night, how didn't Jason Tatum have like 8 assists in the first half?
Yeah,
That was crazy.
that's something else I was going to say. Tatum went from being his only liability being his passing to now Tatum is probably Tatum's a really good passer. Like he's getting in Miami, he was getting 7 assists a game. Like he looked like LeBron out there. He was getting near triple doubles every game. I don't know. That's when his ability to improve a big flaw in his game in an extremely short amount of time is crazy. Like he went from being a he literally averaged 1-2 assists per game in the regular season. And then after quarantine, he started averaging 6 to 8 assists in a game. I'm like, what the fuck happened in the last months? Same with his sophomore season to his this season. Literally last season, it took 3 months of the offseason, and he went from being a mediocre defender to being a nominee for an all defensive team. Like his ability to change up his small flaws in such a short amount of time was crazy. But when it comes against Luka, Tatum's a better shooter. Luka's a better scorer. Tatum is a better defender. Luka's a better passer, and their rebounding is debatable. But at the same time, Tatum's a really good passer. But no matter how good he comes to passing, Luka is a generational passer, meaning that his stuff is a gift. Tatum is working to become a better passer. Tatum's like a Kobe or a Michael Jordan, where passing for them isn't really one of their gifts. It's not one of the things they're blessed with, but they became really good at it to where they're both are very good passers when they want to be. I think that can be Tatum, but Luka is like a Magic or Chris Paul, and where Luka has generational, once in a generation passing that is a gift. His court vision is one of a kind. You can't teach that. So in terms of being the best player in the league, I think Luka. The only way I see Luka not being able to become the best player in the league is if Luka's defense doesn't improve and his shooting doesn't improve, then it'll be Tatum, because Luka, as it stands now, is all offense. He's scoring and passing and rebounding. Tatum is everything at once. Tatum's an all-around player, all-around scoring machine. Luka is scoring, rebounding, and passing, but Luka can't play defense. Tatum doesn't really have a flaw like that where he can't do nothing. Luka cannot play defense to save his life, and Luka can't really shoot like that. Luka's a streaky shooter, and he looks like he can shoot, but at the same time, he shoots damn near 28% from three. Like he airballs threes a lot. He's not really that good. He's not consistent at shooting. His shooting is very streaky. He's like a.
He don't be taking no like mid range shots like that either.
Nah, he's like his score. He's such a creative type of player. He's very creative with the scoring, where he can get a bucket whenever he wants to, but at the same time, like he has very skilled space creating techniques, and where he's able to create space, but he doesn't have the skill to let them in or shoot them. Like, what's it called? He copies James Harden's moves a lot, but he doesn't have James Harden's 3-point making ability. Like, but as of right now, I think the top 3 players will be if Luka. Okay, let me say this: if Luka improves on his defending a lot, and he's able to become a really good shooter, I think the top 3 will be Luka, Tatum, and Zion. But if Luka does not work on his defense or shooting, and he just becomes defenseless, if he just becomes Larry Bird that can't shoot and can't play defense, then my top 3 will be Tatum, Luka, and Zion.
Yeah, I agree. I see Zion taking over. That nigga's gonna be so dominant, bro. Like, what was his shooting percentage this year?
He's at, like, from the field, I think it's like close to 55. Let me see.
Oh yeah, because he started taking threes.
Yeah, like Zion's not Zion's a mediocre 3-point shooter. Like, that's not his job. He's mediocre. He's mediocre at best.
What about John Morant? Do you think he'll be in that top 5?
Oh, Jaw's finna be a monster. Jaw is finna be a monster.
Yeah.
I love Jaw is one of my favorite young players to watch. Yeah, Zion was shooting 43% from 3, but I don't give much weight to that because he was taking less than 1 3 a game. So Zion is finna be a John Morant. He's basically a mini Westbrook. He's a mini Westbrook that has a better handle and can shoot better at a younger age. Like right now, John Morant is a better shooter than Westbrook is right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Ja has potential to be better than Westbrook. He's Westbrook, and that's what a lot of people thought. People thought he was going to be People thought he was going to be Westbrook. People thought he wouldn't be able to shoot. People thought that you saw it against Portland, where Portland was giving him space because they thought he could not knock down threes, and he hit like 5 of 8 threes in the second half. But he can shoot. Jaw's one of my favorite players to watch. My only worry about Jaw is that the NBA needs to teach him how to jump. His team needs to teach him how to jump. And what I mean by that is I'm not saying literally teach him how to jump. Nigga already knows how to jump. He can jump at the fucking gym. They need to teach him how to jump and land properly.
Yeah, I was about to say how to land.
Yeah, and so where he does not have risk hurting himself. Because I see sometimes where that nigga he throws his body away. Like he'll jump up, and the way he comes down, it looks like he does not give a fuck about his body. Like I'm scared that something like Derrick Rose will happen, Lord forbid, because he doesn't know how to land. His landing is so reckless. He needs to be able to be taught how to land correctly because I don't want his career to get hit in a way because he doesn't know how to control his body well enough to be able to do something crazy, but then recover right after. Yeah. Like there'll be times where John Morant lands, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, bro, control your body.
Yeah, that nigga so.
So you believe that? Go ahead. You believe that John's gonna be the best point guard?
Yeah.
In the NBA?
Yeah, in the future. You feel like he's gonna be the number 1 point guard in the future?
I'm thinking about the point guards.
Yeah, Trae Young.
Yeah, Shea, whatever name is, Gilgeous Alexander.
SGA.
Yeah.
I think it'll be between him, Trey, and Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Because Jamal Murray is also very young. I think he's like 24, 25. No, he's Jaylen Brown's age. He's like 23, 24. I think he'll be there. I think Jaw has potential to be better than Westbrook, and the reason Westbrook gets a lot of flack is that Westbrook can't shoot. Westbrook tries to force things a lot. He's a turnover machine. His efficiency is like a horror movie, and he doesn't impact winning that much. If Jaw can fill all of Westbrook's flaws, I see it being Jaw. I like Trey a lot. My problem with Trey is that Trey might be the worst defender in the NBA.
Amen.
Trey.
Amen. Bye, yeah. What's up? I am late. You sound sleeping, my nigga.
What's up? Oh, I'm sorry. Perfect timing. Trae Young might be the worst defender in the NBA.
Well, he doesn't have to be because Steph wasn't that great.
No, Steph is way better than Trae Young at defending.
But they're both not great defenders, so he can still be the best point guard, just not a great defender.
I mean, Steph is like 3 inches taller. He's way bigger, built wise. He's longer. Yeah. Trae is just small. I don't know. Yeah.
So who do you believe gonna be the best future point guard, Balai?
I know you want to say it. Go
ahead. Nah, I'm trying to keep bias out of it. Trying. Probably Jamal Murray. Yeah, probably Jamal Murray.
Good choice.
I don't like him. Like, I can't stand him, but he's a truth, bro.
Yeah.
And he's clutch. Great shooter. Great finisher at the rim. He's not a horrible defender. He's actually pretty decent. I like his drive, his energy. Everything you can ask for besides the cockiness, yeah.
Who? Jamal?
Yeah.
Jamal the cockiest nigga here, bro. Fuck Jamal Murray.
I can stand that, bro.
I respect Jamal Murray a lot as a player, but I don't like him because that nigga's cocky as shit. He dropped 46 on the Celtics, and he was talking heavy shit. Fuck that nigga.
Yeah, wasn't they about to box or
Yeah.
something? They were about to fight.
Yeah, Kyrie grabbed the ball and threw it in the stands because Jamal took a last-second shot, even though they blew us out, and that's looked down upon. So
I remember that.
I mean, okay.
yeah, I mean, like, what's it called? I don't think that. I think my thing about Trey is that, as it stands right now, Trey is way better than Steph was when he came into the league. Year two Steph is a lot better. I mean, year two Trey is a lot better than year two Steph. But the thing is, I need to see what happens when the talks get somebody that impacts their team positively, somebody that impacts their winning, because they have the worst record in the East, and I want to see if that's Trey's fault or is it out of Trey's hand. Because right now, I don't think that's it. I think that's out of Trey's hands. I think Trey is doing everything he can, but his team is booty cheek. I need to see how he impacts winning. Like, John Collins is flashy. John Collins is good.
Yeah, I was just about to mention John Collins. Like, do you think that's a good fit for him?
John Collins is the lobs look good, but John Collins isn't that great of a player. He's like, he doesn't do much for them. Like, John Collins, I'll look at him like I look at Julius Randle. It's like, you're cool, but like, what have you done? Like, it's like, I feel like he's there to increase his own numbers, get his paycheck, and dip. I'm not saying that's his personality, but I feel like that's the type of player he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be a pivotal player. DeAndre Hunter, I really like DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter's a great defender. Cam Reddish in high school and college, that nigga's a bucket. Can heat up at any time. I know he started off the year very rocky, but he got better towards the end. Kevin Huerter is a really good. Kevin Huerter is he's like a Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. Not saying that because he's white, kind of am, but he's a really good. He's a good shot creator. That's what he is. He can be Trey's number 2 shot creator off the bench. He's the person that you want off the bench to come in and give you 18 points per game.
They got Clint Capella too.
Clint Capella, that nigga. Well, taking my bias out of it, because I'm not a fan of Clint Capella. Taking my bias out of it, I think he fills up their center problem. In fact, that they have somebody now that whenever they need to put somebody on a big man, they have somebody to throw at him a body. But I need to see them get a winning player. Like, what pick do they have in the draft this year?
Dang, I forgot. Shit.
Look it up.
Oh, wait. Didn't they, like, fall? Like, they slid right?
Third, I think. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Because I know it's
third or fourth. I don't know.
Might be third is the Hornets, so it might be fourth. All right, let me see.
So they have the 6th pick.
They have
I remember they fell. I remember.
Dang.
6th pick.
It's okay, Bilal. It's okay, bro.
No, it's not. Stop.
You can get a sleeper pick.
She was naming those players, bro. They were whack. They suck. Dude.
Hey, but like, you don't have to be the first pick to be the best player. You could be the 6th pick.
If you were the first,
I want someone like Tatum. Like,
yeah, y'all can't have
Tatum. Tatum was the 2nd pick, right?
He was 3rd pick.
He was a 3rd, yeah.
3rd.
The Philly.
Third.
He was gonna be 1st, but then we tricked Philly into taking him for a lower. We basically tricked Philly into thinking we wanted Markelle Fultz, so we traded it down so they can get the 1st pick, and then we wanted Tatum the whole time, so we basically pulled a switcheroo where we were able to get Tatum at a lower price and trick Philly into drafting Markelle Fultz, who we knew was going to be a bust. That's why I said give Danny Ainge the respect he deserves as a GM. That's a whole other topic.
Hey, bro, at the time, I used to love Markelle Fultz. Like, when he was in college, I was a fan of that nigga.
He was a great college player.
Now.
But, I mean, now he's not bad now, honestly. He's a good slasher. He can run the offense. He just can't shoot for shit. I think you guys can get at number 6. So it's gonna be LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, Obi Toppin, Onyeka Okongwu.
Then they got a European player too.
Dede Avdija. Dede
Yeah.
Avdija is really fucking good. But I think
Yeah.
the Bulls are looking at him. So you guys have the pick right before the Bulls. So you can pick him up if you want. He's a small forward. He's really good. Great shot creator. Kid is really good.
I don't know nobody
Sounds
else
good.
other than
Sounds
that after the 5th spot.
This year's draft isn't that strong, honestly. It's like the top 15, and then everybody else is kind of sorry. But I mean, the Hawks have a good chance. You guys could also trade up. You guys could trade like John Collins. Is Alex Len still on the Hawks?
Ain't he in Sacramento?
Yeah, I think he might have got traded first when at the trade deadline.
I know he was in Phoenix.
Yeah, he's on the Kings. He got traded.
I want Collins out of there. I want to get him out of there, bro.
So what do the Hawks need the most to make the playoffs?
Hey, Von Miller said Bradley Beal to the Hawks.
Shot creator. Wait, what?
Von Miller in the chat said Bradley Beal to the Hawks. Like they should trade for him.
Nah.
No.
I don't know how they.
I don't think that really helps.
I think that because the way that Trey plays basketball, bro, Trey makes up a lot of shots for other people, but I also think that at the point Bradley Beal is in his career, they're gonna be fighting for being the top scorer. And I don't know Trey that much. Trey may be willing to defer to him. So I think you guys.
Yeah, but that would stunt his growth as a player. I think
you guys should trade like
if he like
a John. I think you guys should trade like John Collins, DeAndre Bembry, and for a good stretch forward wing player. Because you guys, Cam Reddish can be you guys Jason Tatum. He just has to develop into that area. Cam Reddish is a Jason Tatum type of player, and where he's a very long, versatile, athletic wing that can score like crazy. But his NBA game has to translate. Like that's what happens with a lot of college players. Tatum was good in college, and then he went to great in the NBA. And then Markelle was great in college, and now he's average in the NBA. It's like you don't know. It's very hard to see how the game translates. I think the Hawks, they just they have a missing, and they also need a better coach. Who's your coach right now?
Lloyd Pierce.
Lloyd Pierce. How long has Lloyd Pierce been the coach for the Atlanta Hawks? He's been coaching guys since 2018. Okay. I think that. I just saw. This nigga used to be assistant coach for Philly. That makes a lot of sense. So maybe he's having you guys. So maybe he's trying to bring in the Philly way and where you guys tank for high draft picks. Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. That's something that really plagued the Philly system. A lot of people in the Philly front office are plagued with that tanking mentality. Even when their old GM left, the new one came in. Their old GM went to another team. That process shit, it's not working. Maybe he's trying to do that with the Hawks. I don't know.
I can't stand that process.
No, Sixers are such a disappointment.
Yeah, the process shit is stupid, man. Like, what's it called? That's why I said a lot of people are running from the grind. Niggas like to get mad at me when I say this, but the Lakers ran from the grind. I'm talking to you, Tyrese.
It don't matter. Hey, this always been the same way. It don't matter. Hey, we don't need to do grind to be the best.
But the Lakers have the benefit of the doubt because they're a historic franchise in a popular city. So them running from the grind, they can still win a championship because people want to go to the Lakers to play in Los Angeles. That's the thing, and where I give a team like, that's why I said I give the Celtics more credit than the Lakers.
Because of what?
I mean, people go to Boston too, bro.
Yeah,
you might want to go to Boston.
People go to bro. I'm sorry, but this is just a cold hard truth, bro. We have gotten more big free agents than the Lakers have in the last 8 years. You guys have gotten the biggest free agent with LeBron, but we got Al Horford coming off of his number one seed in the NBA season. He was one of the best. He was looked at as one of the most valuable centers in the NBA, and he signed with the Celtics. Gordon Hayward just became a first-time free agent and made the playoffs in the West, and everybody was trying to get him, including the Lakers, the Sixers, the Miami Heat, Everybody was trying to get Gordon Hayward, and he signed with who? The Celtics. Kemba Walker. The Lakers were trying. Kemba Walker just said earlier this summer the Lakers were trying very hard to acquire him for their third star, and he said, "No, I'm going to go to Boston." Kemba Walker, 3 big free agents opposed to you guys getting just LeBron James in the last 8 years.
LeBron equals all of them niggas.
And yeah, that's what I said. Y'all got the biggest one, but at the same time, we've had more than you guys. We've had more stars come to our city than yours in the past 8 years. Anthony Davis is a trade, my nigga.
Lakers got the best stars. Tell me, we got Shaq and we got LeBron.
I said talking about recently.
I don't
care about recent. I don't care. I'm all right. Throw recently. I don't care about that.
I said last
time, bro. It's not fair.
I talked to Jody, and Jody said the way players are nowadays, they want to play in the bright lights and everything. Like everybody wants to come to LA. That's why I laugh when you niggas say everybody wants to come out to LA, because I watched for the last 7-8 years, so many big free agents said no to the Lakers. Russell Westbrook said no to the Lakers. Damian Lillard said no to the Lakers. Paul George said, we saw it on Jody's Corner. That nigga said, "Oh man, I can't wait. I want Paul George to come to the Lakers." Back when you niggas loved Paul George, then he said no when y'all said fuck Paul George, we don't need it. Paul George said no to the Lakers. Jimmy Butler said no to the Lakers. Kemba Walker said no to the Lakers.
That's because the organization at that time was trash.
Jody said, I've talked to niggas like you, and he said it does not matter where the organization's at. Niggas want to come to LA because it's LA and it's the Lakers. Well, I saw the Celtics be equally as trash, and they got 3 free agents opposed to the Lakers having the biggest one. I saw who else did I see pass on you niggas? Kevin Durant passed on you niggas. Kawhi Leonard just passed on you niggas, bro.
He chose wrong. He chose wrong, as you see, but
I don't know if he chose wrong. Fuck.
He at home. Yeah, chose wrong.
For sure. Like I said, I've seen so many big stars pass up on LA. So I don't know. I guess this narrative comes from wishful thinking because of the city you're in and the franchise you have. But if we're going on his history shows in the last 8 years, recently, my nigga, nobody wants to come to LA. They all passed on you niggas. They will this year because everybody wants to go play with a team who just won a ring in LeBron and Anthony Davis. But in 2018, niggas was passing on LA. What was the number one thing that people said about joining LA? What was the number one reason Kawhi didn't join when they said that he had a possibility of going to LA? Your front office is horribly run. Your front office is always scrambling.
All of that, that's in the past now.
Because they said in 2018, Magic quit out of nowhere last year.
Magic was trash.
Jeannie Buss said, he didn't tell any of us that he was going to quit. She didn't know what she was doing. Y'all had to put Rob Pelinka, a nigga who was an agent in charge of your franchise. Y'all didn't know who to trade. You traded D'Angelo Russell, who became an all-star that season, for legitimately nothing. You traded Julius Randle for nothing.
Again.
You traded
Magic is trash. Magic is trash executive.
Nigga, I heard all of last year before Magic quit. Bro, we got Magic Johnson. This nigga's finna turn the Lakers on. Magic Johnson knows what he's doing. This nigga's about to be the best GM. This nigga isn't Michael Jordan. I heard this from you. I don't know about you. I heard this from Bobo. I heard this from Jody. I heard this even from J3. Niggas was sucking Magic Johnson's dick, and he was the worst thing to happen to the Lakers in the past 3 years.
Well, you know what? That's because he's Magic. I mean, come on now. That's the only reason why.
He was the worst thing to happen to the Lakers in the past 3 years, my nigga. He skipped over Tatum for Lonzo fucking Ball. He bit the book because LeVar Ball legitimately bullied that nigga into drafting his son. All that shit he said in the media, knew he would look like a square if he didn't take Lonzo. So he took Lonzo because that nigga got peer pressured into it.
Everybody was in Lonzo. Man.
He said after the whole thing with Nick Young, he said D'Angelo said just a month ago, he said, yeah, Magic said, you don't have the leader qualities. We need leaders, and you're not being a leader, so we're going to trade you. And that nigga led to the Nets to the playoffs since 2012, for the first time in 2012.
You know why D'Angelo got traded? The nigga was snitching.
It was because of the Nick Young phone thing. And at the same time, I will say this. That was a mistake. He was being a young, dumb kid putting shit on his story because he was drunk. That was a mistake. I don't think he was trying to snitch. That was a mistake. And they didn't give him the benefit of the doubt for it because at the same time, nigga, how are you traded Nick Young anyway? So why are you gonna act like At that point, you're choosing Nick Young over D'Angelo Russell, but you traded Nick Young away. So what's the point? The nigga that was disrupting the team chemistry of another person, you traded both of them away. So you messed up that thing for nothing. You traded away a legitimate young star for nothing. Do you know how good D'Angelo Russell would have been as a third star on this Lakers team, my nigga? I don't want to imagine it. And they traded him away for nothing.
Well, I mean, they still could have gotten D'Angelo this year too. But
yeah, but he said no. He said no. He said I want to go play with Steph.
No, anybody want to give him that money? Who wants to pay D'Angelo Russell?
Warriors paid him. Nigga, they gave him a bag.
Russell,
and they shipped him. They shipped him to Minnesota.
He didn't have control over that, but the Warriors gave him a bag.
What are you gonna say, Belay?
I noticed that a lot of young stars that came out of LA, they flourished when they left the team. Like D'Angelo Russell, Randall,
combined. All right, that's because you had Luke Walton was trash
at the time that they couldn't even play right. Huh?
Thanks.
Well, Luke was trash, Magic was trash, so that's why.
That's the thing about you niggas saying it was trash. I was saying all last year that Magic Johnson doesn't know what he's doing, and I heard from Brandon Bobo, I heard from Jody. All you niggas did was suck Magic Johnson's dick, and I told you he was messing up your organization. I told you that Rob Pelinka was running your organization in the ground. I told you niggas did not want to go to the Lakers because your organization looked bad. After Magic quit, everybody was looking at the Lakers like, fuck, their organization literally looks like a fire right now. It looks like that scene from SpongeBob. Ooh, fuck, my bad.
Okay, but still, hey, they were wrong. We just talking about we in the finals. You don't think Rob Pelinka did a great job?
No, nigga, no. I don't care.
Whoa! What you mean, no?
I'm sorry, but I don't care anything that you say. No matter who was in your front office, you would have got Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis wanted to go to play with LeBron. Anthony Davis is a part of Clutch Sports, and Rich Paul and LeBron.
Here we go with this.
Mutual, nigga, I'm just calling it how I see it.
Here we go with this.
Everybody sees it.
How you fighting that? That's true.
I don't know
how this Clutch Sports stuff. I get it now.
I don't know how Clutch Sports is allowed to exist, my nigga, but that shit is different 101, bro. They literally uprooted a young star out of his whole hometown. They literally uprooted and fucked over the Pelicans just to get Anthony Davis to go play with LeBron, my nigga. Like, do people not see? Do you know how many reports there have been? Do you know how many reports there have been of players saying that they got that? Clutch Sports has tried to get them to go play with LeBron when they were part of Clutch Sports, my nigga. Marcus Morris left Clutch Sports because Clutch Sports was trying to get him to go play in the Lakers, and Marcus Morris said, no, I don't want to play for the Lakers, and so he left Clutch Sports. Like, bro.
We don't want him anyways. We got his brother. We don't want him.
That shit is a breeding ground for LeBron help, my nigga.
Look. I don't know what you talking about. I don't see no problem with it, but the thing is, I think he done a really good job with the rest of the roster. You can say AD was coming because of the Clutch Sports, the connection or whatever, but
well, I mean, he did a good job.
It's Clutch Sports. That's what he's saying. It's Clutch Sports. That's the
the fact. I mean, you can give him credit for everything else, but I don't give anybody credit for Anthony Davis going to the Lakers besides LeBron James being on the Lakers and it being the Lakers. Anthony Davis grew up a Lakers fan, and LeBron James is the player he said is his fit. Anthony Davis said in 2013 when he was entering the NBA that he thinks the greatest player of all time is LeBron James. Like, he's LeBron James' biggest fan. Like, come on. Like that. I'll give you credit for that. I don't even know if I'll give you credit for the other stuff because that nigga was – you guys were scrambling your chickens without eggs because Kawhi finessed y'all. Kawhi made y'all look stupid. He made you guys hold out until every free agent was taken, and then he said, no, I loved it. It made me have joy down to my toe.
It don't matter. We're still one of the top teams anyway, so it really didn't matter. Why?
LeBron and Anthony Davis, my nigga. The players that you guys signed and brought in for this year, none of them have had any positive impact besides Dwight Howard.
Okay, what about the GOAT Caruso? You don't like Caruso?
Caruso was on your team last year. I'm talking about the players that Rob Pelinka brought in this year. The only one that had a positive impact was Dwight Howard. That's the only.
And Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley. No, Avery Bradley had a positive impact, but he's not in the playoffs. I'm talking about in the playoffs.
You talking about in the playoffs? Okay. Well,
The only person who's contributing to them winning in the playoffs that Rob Pelinka signed is Dwight Howard. Who else did Rob Pelinka sign? Dion Waiters.
Morris.
Morris
is shooting 42% for three. That's add him in there too.
He didn't sign him; they traded for him for sure.
No, he did sign him because he was free agent off the waivers.
So he was scraps. Sure, he was scraps.
Yeah. Scraps is another man's goal, so it don't matter. He's still shooting 42% from three. So
I'll give you that. So you guys are struggling, so I'll give you that. I'll give you Dwight and I'll give you Markieff. The other players that are contributing, Rondo's already been there. Magic Johnson brought Rondo in, and LeBron brought Rondo in. Who else is contributing? That's it. That's
a Jared Dudley.
Like if I'm thinking about anybody who's contributing to you guys winning, besides LeBron and Anthony Davis, I can only think of Rondo and Dwight Howard. Everybody else is trash.
Whoa, KCP ain't trash either. What you talking about? 44%.
KCP is not a basketball player. That nigga is.
Yes, the nigga has improved. Have y'all not been watching? That nigga is a shooter.
KCP is an overachiever, my nigga. He's an overachiever. That nigga's trash. Well, he's not trash. Actually, he's been one of your most consistent players in the playoffs. But what I'm saying is that I don't give Rob Pelinka much credit in terms of you guys doing a scramble job. Rob Pelinka takes an L from me because he fell for Kawhi and Uncle Dennis playing him. That nigga fell for it. Instead of being
everybody fell for it.
Instead of being a smart GM and you could have still had Kawhi as your primary focus, but you could have also been calling other people and having backup options for if Kawhi says no. He didn't do that. He says we're saving this spot for Kawhi and Kawhi alone. He was not taking calls, and the niggas was focused on Kawhi. And when Kawhi said no, they had to do a scramble job. They picked up DeMarcus Cousins because nobody else wanted DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins went 2 or 3 weeks without getting signed because nobody wanted him. He asked to go to the Celtics, and the Celtics said no. He said publicly in the media that he would like to be signed by a couple teams, and he said he wouldn't. He actually kind of wants to go play for Boston, and Boston said no. They don't want a possibility of having chemistry problems again, so they said no to DeMarcus Cousins. He did a scramble job and found scraps that nobody else wanted because Kawhi played them. Rob Pelinka does not get credit for me. Bubba, we're not even talking about that. I don't know where you're on, my nigga. We're talking about Rob Pelinka being a GM. What are you talking about? Fuck.
What is that about? Why is it?
We're not talking about the Clippers. We're not talking about the Clippers. We're talking about Pelinka as a GM.
I mean, I can give Rob credit for getting LeBron.
Oh no, that was Magic Johnson. That was Magic Johnson. Nah, that wasn't Pelinka.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson, and honestly, I don't even. LeBron had his heart set on going to Los Angeles. He even said himself there was no.
So here we go with this.
There was no other option. He wanted to go to Los Angeles. Nobody else would.
You gonna say he came here just to do movies or something?
No, I wasn't saying that. Magic.
Okay, about to say.
And I said Magic. I don't even know if Magic gets credit for that because LeBron was coming to LA regardless. And Bobo, yes, Magic Johnson was terrible. Facts. He was terrible. I don't know what you said.
Yeah,
LeBron. He was terrible. Like the LeBron signing, he gets partial credit for that because he did go to LeBron's house and he did talk to LeBron about why joining the Lakers would be great. But at the same time, LeBron already had his heart set on LA, my nigga. He wanted to be a Laker. He said there was no other place that he wanted to go other than LA. No matter who was in charge, he had his heart set on going to Los Angeles. It's the exact same thing as when he went back to Cleveland. Even though, what's his face? Dan Gilbert was still the head of the Cleveland front office, and him and Dan Gilbert had beef. LeBron still went back to Cleveland because he had his heart set on it. Where LeBron wants to go, LeBron goes. You can steer him in the direction, but he has his mindset on that. So Magic Johnson gets partial credit for that, but really LeBron said, I'm going to LA. That was LeBron, all LeBron. And so, like I said, Magic Johnson, trash. He traded away you guys' future to win. And he didn't even trade away your future to win now because he quit halfway through the season when you guys were a losing team. He said, niggas told the media, I can't do what I want to do anymore. There's too much tampering. It isn't fun for me anymore. It's too much pressure. Like I can't do the role that I want to do. Nah, nigga. He saw y'all were a losing ship, and he said, I gotta get off this. Hit the panic button and dip. He did not contribute to winning at all.
The Lakers are better without Magic. Nobody cares.
I agree. Magic Johnson before Anthony Davis came, Magic Johnson didn't do anything to get AD there. What are you talking about, Bobo? I'm talking about in 2019, Magic Johnson traded away you guys' future before LeBron came because he said, I think I can get players. He traded away D'Lo for nothing, traded away Julius Randle for nothing. And then when they came, he said, all right, we have this young core in LeBron James. It didn't work. He quit. Pelinka traded away all of your players for Anthony Davis. And yes, that was a smart move because it helps you guys win now. But at the same time, Pelinka doesn't get credit for that because Anthony Davis wanted to play with LeBron no matter who was in front office. No matter who was talking to him, that nigga wanted to play for LeBron. And Rich Paul wanted him to play for LeBron too. My nigga. That was
Clutch,
the
Clutch Sports connection.
Clutch Sports. They take care of their people. Like I said, Anthony Davis trading for Anthony Davis is just a matter of the only thing that was a matter of trading for Anthony Davis. The only thing that was a problem that kept it from being a dumb deal was New Orleans. There was no problem on the Lakers side when it came to trading for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis wanted to be in the Lakers because he wants to play with LeBron. LeBron wanted Anthony Davis because he wants to win another ring. And every Laker fan wanted Anthony Davis. Rich Paul wanted Anthony Davis in Los Angeles. The only problem with him going there was the Pelicans because their old owner was trying his hardest. I think his name was Dell something. He was trying his hardest to keep Anthony Davis from going to the Lakers because he knew AD wanted to go to the Lakers. And because AD fucked over New Orleans, he was trying his hardest to keep AD from going to the place that he wanted to go. That's the only problem. So like I said, none of the Lakers front office. I keep hearing weapons. Lakers front office this, Lakers front office that. Y'all don't get credit for LeBron because LeBron wanted to go to LA. No matter who was there, that nigga would have went. Y'all don't get credit for Anthony Davis. LeBron gets credit for Anthony Davis. Y'all get credit for Rondo. I'll give y'all credit for Rondo. He's doing great things for you guys. He gave you that's credit to him.
What about Vogel?
He gets credit for Dwight Howard. Yeah, Dwight Howard. Vogel's a trash coach, man. Vogel's trash. What are we talking about? Vogel's
Elite
trash.
defensively. Elite defensive.
Elite defensively. I've had conversations with other Laker fans who agree. Vogel's rotations make no sense sometimes. What is this nigga doing?
Yeah.
What is this nigga Why are you playing? Why is Danny Green going? Oh, he's going 2 for 20, and you give him more minutes than Kuzma or Dion Waiters. What are you doing?
Kuzma's trash.
Why are you playing? What's it called? Why when LeBron says I'm fine with playing at the point guard position, you only put LeBron at the small forward position and then let Rondo run the offense. And while that does well, when they both go to sit because they're both in the starting lineup, then the bench suffers. Why don't you put LeBron at point guard like he said he's fine doing, and then put Rondo off the bench instead of starting Rondo? Because then Rondo's able to run the offense more clearly off the bench because Rondo is doing excellently in the playoffs. Why are you starting them? Vogel's rotations make no sense sometimes. Sometimes I'm like,
Rondo already comes off the bench. Is the starting lineup is KCP, Danny Green, Bron, AD, and then if you want to say Dwight Howard. That's what's the starting. It's just Rondo.
I thought Rondo.
Rondo comes up. No, Rondo comes off the bench.
Okay, I thought he started over KCP. My bad. Disregard that. Like I said, besides that point, what's the point of signing Dion Waiters if you're not going to use him?
I don't know. I guess he hurt or something. That's what they've been saying for the last 3 rounds that he's hurt. I don't
when did he get hurt? He was playing. When did he get hurt? In preseason?
I don't know. I guess he got hurt in practice. I don't know. This nigga's been hurt the whole time.
Like I knew J.R. Smith would be getting bum minutes, but why is Dion not playing? Like, bro, he's
high. I don't know.
Sometimes there'll be cold stretches when nobody can get a bucket, and you have a shot creator right there. You have a shot creator right there that's able to be used, and if not him, Quinn Cook is able to hit a couple threes. Quinn Cook is a good shooter. Maybe sometimes when you guys are playing garbage minutes where nobody can hit a shot, bring Quinn Cook off the bench in a bench rotation and see what he can do for 3 minutes. And if he's not playing well, put him on the bench again. but you don't play him at
Quinn
all.
Cook has been trashed the whole season.
Why is it that Dwight only started getting starting minutes against the Nuggets when JaVale has been stinking up the joint for the past 2 series? JaVale McGee has been stinking up the joint for the past 2 series, and you just started. Finally, you decided, hey, Dwight Howard's been playing good. Let me put him at the starting position. Finally, why is Danny Green getting starters minutes? The world may never know.
Why else we got? I mean,
here's an idea. Put LeBron at point guard. Start KCP at small shooting guard.
Not starting Kuzma. No.
Yeah. Start Kuzma at what's it called?
Have you not been seeing Kuzma the last round?
Nigga, Kuzma's playing better than Danny Green.
He's not playing better than Danny Green. Kuzma is
playing better than Danny Green. I don't want to hear it.
Look,
Kuzma is playing better than Danny Green, bro. Danny Green was hit. Danny Green is. Did you see that point average in the playoffs? I think they said he's averaging 6 points on 27% from the field.
God damn.
I think Kuzma having 8 points.
Bobo,
like that.
It's not about him playing point when it comes to the game. I'm talking about the starting lineup and where you can insert players in the starting lineup that will have a more positive impact. Put LeBron at the starting point position. He's going to play point when he's on the court. I know this. He's going to bring the ball up the court. But I'm talking about when you have your starting lineup, list LeBron at the point guard position so you can bring in somebody different at small forward to be able to play.
Okay. Kuzma's been getting cooked on defense all the time.
Nigga, so is Danny Green.
No, he just looks at nigga something. Kuzma can't stay in front of his man.
Nigga, what is Danny Green doing?
He at least staying in for like a minute or two. Kuzma, they blowing right past him. You seen what Michael Porter was doing to him the whole time?
What is Danny Green doing?
Yeah, Danny Green's a better defender than Kuzma.
He's
not doing that much better, but he's doing better than Kuzma on defense.
He's doing something.
He's a better defender than Kuzma, but he's not.
I don't know what's up with Danny Green, bro. What happened to him?
I have no idea.
Bobo, playing trash, bro.
That podcast stuff. You worry about that?
My point is here, Vogel is not a good coach. His rotations suck. Did I say you guys aren't winning? No, you're winning because you have 2 of the best players in basketball.
So we're not winning because of our defense?
Yeah, your defense is great, but again, the person who sets the defensive tone is LeBron more than Anthony Davis. LeBron and Anthony Davis set the tone more than Vogel. When they play their best defense, the whole team wants to contribute. The whole team's energy gets up. And Vogel does get a lot of credit because his defensive schemes are a major improvement over Luke Walton's last year. Yeah, his defensive schemes are a major improvement over Luke Walton's last year. But at the same time, Coach Vogel, watch games and I'm like, what the fuck is Vogel doing? Why is he doing that? Like, bro, you guys have to thank LeBron and Anthony Davis for being the major components. These niggas have been at another level all postseason, especially Anthony Davis, and they have led you guys to a 16-3 record in the playoffs, which is phenomenal. But at the same time, like my main point, Vogel is not a good coach like that. He's not good. It's not good, bro. It's not good.
He doesn't need to be. Hey, wait. Lakers already got 2 coaches basically on a 3 basically on the roster.
I'm not saying he needs to be. Niggas are acting like somebody brought up should Pelinka get credit for Vogel, and I was just simply answering the question. So I'm saying
I think Frank needs to be a good coach in the finals. He can't keep this up.
Yeah,
I think keep doing this in the finals because he was.
Hey, at least Vogel was making adjustments, unlike Doc Rivers.
Like I've seen games where they even the games that they have lost, the games that they'll lose, the games they lose a lot of times is because one, the Lakers will coast because they might be up in the series, like we saw in the Nuggets. It only happened against the Nuggets, and they don't take the game seriously, and they play with less energy. And 2, Vogel sometimes has made plenty, and I mean plenty of mistakes in the playoffs. So do I give Rob Pelinka credit for Vogel? There were better coaches out there. No.
At least he's not doing a terrible job, but he's doing an all right job.
My bad.
Hire Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Hire Mark Jackson. It would have been better.
Mark Jackson is blacklisted. Ain't nobody hiring him no more.
Yeah, I know he's blacklisted. It's tough, but you know.
Tough, yeah. He's no longer going to get a job, so that's over with him.
Yeah, bro.
I
But
got
like,
Lakers in 7 in the finals. Yeah.
Lakers in 4.
Lakers
LeBron
in
and
6.
AD are not good. They're not good. So
Lakers in 6.
4.
Lakers in 4, bro.
What makes you say Lakers in 7, Blind?
Bro, why 4, bro? Hold on.
Oh, why 4?
We just
I'm sorry, bro. We may have lost the series, but I saw Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown dominate Jimmy Butler. We lost the series because Bam destroyed us. We had no way to contain Bam Adebayo, and sometimes either Tyler Hero would get hot, Goran Dragic would get hot, or Duncan Robinson would get hot, and we got outcoached. But in terms of Jimmy Butler had no impact on the series in terms of them being more dominant than us because we were holding Jimmy to like 14, 15, 16 points per game on bad efficiency, or average efficiency. So I saw Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown basically locked down Jimmy Butler. They beat him offensively. They were doing better than him offensively. I saw that. So now I'm thinking about the Lakers. LeBron James is going to violate Jimmy Butler, my nigga. LeBron James is going to do things I've never seen before to Jimmy Butler. Bobo, I'm not talking about that. Nigga always brings up different shit. Like I'm saying, when it comes to Jimmy Butler, I saw Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown put work on that nigga. LeBron James is going to have his way with Jimmy Butler. Bam is going to be a great matchup that I want to see. I'm not going to say it's a great matchup because I think Bam's going to do great against AD. It's a great matchup because I want to see how they're going to play against each other. Bam is his defense is so good in the fact that I don't think that AD is going to be able to take him out of anywhere like he did with Gobert or like he did with other centers. Bam is good enough to defend AD on the perimeter, in the elbow, the paint, anywhere on the court. Bam is good enough to defend AD. But the problem is Bam is undersized. He's 6'9", and AD can quite as well shoot over him. But Bam does have a long wingspan, so that might be an effect. And he has very good defensive IQ. Gets a passing lane. His passing is extremely well. His defensive IQ is extremely high. It's a great matchup because I want to see how it happens. But
still Lakers in 4.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Even though it's a great matchup, LeBron is going
I agree with you.
And Bam is going. AD is going to eat Bam. I don't want it to happen. I want the Heat to win because I despise everything about the Lakers, and I want the niggas to get humbled for once. You have 2 superstars. Get humbled.
Humbled for the last
stop it.
5 years.
There have been teams that have suffered more than you. There are the teams that have never won championships, and because you niggas didn't make the playoffs for 6 years, you want to talk about suffering. Please. Please. Belide is a Hawk fan. That nigga is suffering.
Ball.
Please.
Yeah, they doing bad.
Nigga, people are suffering more than Laker fans when it comes to championships and playoffs. Y'all don't deserve this because y'all went through a couple.
Okay. Oh, look. The Hawks have been used to losing, so that doesn't count. So
you niggas have 5 rings in a decade.
Lie get jumped.
Y'all had 5 rings in a decade, but because y'all had 5 rings in a decade, but because you went 10 years without getting another one, y'all have been suffering. Nigga, miss.
Yes, yeah, we've been suffering. What you talking about?
Nigga,
who team gave Mozgov $6 million?
Huh?
Don't you remember Timothy Mozgov? The Lakers gave him $60 million.
Who did that again? Who was your GM at the time?
It was Mitch.
Got you. I was wondering. Who did you guys trade for D'Angelo Russell here? Wasn't it Brook Lopez?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, look, that was Magic's fault that they lost Brook, so you can blame it on Magic. I'm
just asking. I'm genuinely curious. I'm forgetting who you guys traded for D'Angelo. Wasn't it Brook Lopez?
I can't even remember.
I think it was Brook Lopez actually.
Because Brook Lopez was on the Nets. That was when he was his best. So I think that was when they traded. Yeah, but other than that, like I was saying, I despise the Lakers. You niggas want to talk about suffering. We deserve this. Laker fans deserve. Nigga, y'all don't deserve nothing.
When you're used to winning, you want to win.
Nigga, y'all didn't make the playoffs for 6 years and y'all complaining? The Kings haven't made the playoffs since 2005. What are we doing?
Another losing franchise, and no one cares.
Bro, losing franchises for sure. Let's go on a winning franchise. The Chicago Bulls haven't won since 1998. The Boston Celtics haven't won since 2008. Like, what are we winning franchises? There's only 5 winning franchises in the NBA, and out of all of them, the Lakers have The Lakers have what? The third shortest drought between championships. Like, what are we doing? Out of the 5 winning franchises, the Celtics, the Lakers, the Spurs, the Bulls, and the Warriors, the Lakers have the third shortest drought when it comes to winning a championship. Y'all don't deserve nothing. What are we doing?
We deserve everything. What you talking about?
What are we doing?
Look, the Lakers at one point. Don't you remember who Ryan Kelly was?
Yes, I remember who Ryan Kelly was.
Guessing up this championship run. That is good. Nah.
Nigga, y'all still had Kobe Bryant until 2016. Y'all still had
Wayne Ellington starting.
Y'all still were able to enjoy Kobe's last few games. Even though Kobe wasn't the same, y'all were still able to enjoy Kobe. There are niggas who have had nothing to look forward to in the NBA for over decades. What was the last? You realize last year was the first time Toronto has ever won a championship. It was the last year they've ever been in the finals. The first time they've ever been in the finals. And you niggas are complaining and saying that, we deserve this. This is our year. We deserve this. Blah, blah, blah.
We want more. That's why.
Shut up.
We deserve more.
Y'all don't deserve nothing. Y'all didn't. I would say if you deserved it, if you guys were trash and you built your team up for years, getting defeated, and the team that you've built up throughout all the years finally made the late playoffs and showed everybody that they were something. They were homegrown. Nah, y'all were trash for 6 years, and then you took the easy way out and got big superstars that somebody else grew in the market. I say it's the equivalent as in everybody's growing plants. Every team is a person that wants to grow gigantic plants that look great. You guys didn't have any plants for 6 years. Other teams were growing plants to be gigantic and big, and you decided to buy the plants from those people. That's the Lakers. You guys didn't grind anything. Y'all didn't do any grinding. Y'all didn't make any pick. Y'all did not, in these last 6 years where you niggas are trash, you guys have not developed anybody. Everybody in your team is new. You guys have not developed.
All right. We developed a trade package. That's the best thing we did.
Y'all developed a trade package from taking for Anthony Davis. Yeah. Y'all developed a trade package for Anthony Davis.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
I'll give you guys. You guys developed a bargaining tool to get Anthony Davis. Got you. Other than that, everything you have now in this championship, you niggas did not build up from anywhere. You purchased them from a market because you live in a popular city. Y'all don't deserve nothing. What are we doing?
Damn.
And still, we deserve everything.
Y'all don't deserve nothing. I'll find teams that deserve more than you. Nigga, we deserve more than y'all. After we traded away, I'm sorry. Let me tell you. Danny Ainge plays the biggest gamble in basketball, one of the biggest gambles in basketball history, where he traded away Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce away to the Brooklyn Nets for picks, and he traded away Rondo. He traded away his core; they were aging, but he traded them away for picks and then turned them into a rebuild team where they were a 29-win team the next year. And gradually, the Lakers only had 1 year when they didn't make the play. Even though Danny Ainge traded all those players away, they only had 1 year since then where they didn't make the playoffs. That goes to show you how good of a franchise they are, and that they traded away every star they had, and they were still able to retool and scramble together G League players and make the playoffs. First off,
or that just shows how weak the East was.
What you mean?
If you're able to trade that much amount of players and still make the playoffs, your conference is weak.
I don't know about that for sure. Okay, that's here or there, but let's continue. Like I was saying, we traded away. We gambled everything. And then what do we do in 2015? In 2014, who we draft? We drafted Marcus Smart, a number 6 pick who nobody wanted. In 2016, who did we draft? We drafted Jaylen Brown. We traded for Isaiah Thomas, somebody on the Kings, the 60th pick who nobody was looking for, who he turned into a 30 points per game averaging all-star who made an all-NBA team and made the first seed. We drafted Jaylen Brown at 3. Nobody believed in him. Jaylen Brown came into the league not knowing how to dribble or shoot. That nigga was just athletic and can somewhat play defense because he's athletic. We off of pure respect for the franchise and what could be, who did we sign in 2017? We signed Al Horford.
Should have kept him.
We signed Al Horford because we were able to what? We were able to turn trash into Isaiah Thomas, and we turned Isaiah Thomas into an all-star, and we were able to get Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, who nobody believed in. And guess what was the biggest move of our franchise that we did in 2017? Guess what it was, Tyrese? We were able, out of the picks that we had, that we traded to the Nets for KG and Paul Pierce, what did one of those picks turn into? They turned into Jaylen Brown. What did the other pick turn into? It turned into our 2017 draft pick. After our 2017 season, where we went as we were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, off of trash. For 2013, we became the number 1 seed because we were a good franchise and we were able to build players up and develop something good here. We became the number 1 seed. And what did we do in 2017? With the pick we got from Brooklyn, we said Danny Ainge was laying seeds. That nigga was like Littlefinger. He said, I think we're really looking at Markelle Fultz. He told the media, we really like Markelle Fultz. We like how he's looking. We saw multiple videos, multiple tweets, multiple accounts, articles of him inviting the Celtics having multiple workouts with Markelle Fultz. And we knew it was a done deal. The Celtics wanted Markelle Fultz. But Danny was playing everybody the whole time. He set it up to make it look like we were in love with Markelle Fultz. So what did he do? Mm-hmm. When it was time to play, when it was time for the NBA draft, he told Philly, hey, why don't we trade our number 1 pick to you guys for your number 3 pick and another pick in 2 years in next year's draft and the draft after? And they said, okay. They took the number 1 pick. So everybody we basically made Philly into thinking that we thought they weren't going to take Markelle Fultz. So Philly was basically thinking, oh, bet, we have the number 1 pick now. We're going to take Markelle Fultz because the Celtics want him and everybody thinks he's the best draft. Us saying that we wanted Markelle Fultz raised his draft stock because he looked like the best player in the draft because the Celtics wanted him and were infatuated with him. So we effectively tricked Philly into taking them when we gave them the number 1 pick. And what did we do after they took Markelle Fultz? We knew they were drafting Lonzo. We took the player that we wanted in the first place, Jason Tatum. We tricked the whole league and Philly into thinking that we wanted Markelle Fultz, made them draft Markelle Fultz to take him away from us, and we took the player we wanted in the first place at a lower price for a lower salary with another draft pick. That is the finessing drafting of the century, my nigga. And what did we do after we drafted Jason Tatum? We had low expectations. Oh, right after we drafted Jason Tatum, guess who we signed? Gordon Hayward, somebody who just averaged 20 in the West and was an all-star that got everybody's respect. We signed Gordon Hayward, more signings to the Los Angeles Lakers. And what do? We traded the trick from Brooklyn to get who? Kyrie Irving.
And all that to just lose Kyrie and to never make the finals.
Oh, we lost Kyrie, but we got better after we lost him. That's a story for another day. But what happened after that? In 2018 season, Gordon Brooks was like, everybody thought he was done. Then Kyrie was out for the season at the start of March. But what happened? A team led by a 19-year-old player that we gambled the future of our franchise on in 2012.
Got put out by LeBron.
In 2012, when Jason Tatum was still 14 years old, we didn't even know what he'd be. We gambled our future on that pick. And in 2017, he took LeBron James, the best player in the NBA, to 7 games. As a rookie, you say, oh, he still got put out with LeBron. It looks worse from LeBron than Jason Tatum that LeBron got taken to 7 games by a 19-year-old.
No, you seen LeBron's team? What you talking about? That don't mean nothing.
We had Kevin Love. Bro, we were led by a 19-year-old rookie, bro. Our best player was a 19-year-old rookie. Your best player was LeBron James. What are we talking about?
I don't look. I don't think we remember how Kevin Love was playing then, but he wasn't playing that good.
Kevin Love was averaging 18 points in the playoffs. What are you talking about? Kevin Love had high production in the playoffs. It looks worse in the fact that LeBron James got taken to 7 games by a rookie. But that's not here or there. We gambled the future of our franchise that we didn't know who would be in 2012.
Still doesn't matter.
And then we went 70 games in the finals, and guess what happened after that? We lost Kyrie in 2019. We embarrassed ourselves in 2019. We completely embarrassed ourselves. We lost Kyrie. We lost Al Horford. But then guess what happened? In less than a week after losing Kyrie Irving, Danny Ainge was able to draft to sign me. Danny Ainge was able to sign Kemba Walker. In less than a week after Kyrie. What other GM is able to lose an All-Star and sign another All-Star in less than a week? Tell me.
And all that just to get put out by the Heat.
Oh, for sure. But like I said, and guess what happened? We were better than we were last year. Yes, we got put out by the Heat, but we have a better future than almost everybody in the NBA. So like I said, we deserve more than y'all because we traded away everything and we're still able to build up a better franchise than almost everybody in the NBA from scratch off of purely good front office. We didn't have to depend on a superstar wanting to come to a popular city. We didn't have to depend on sports getting in the Davis, my nigga. We are better than you as a franchise. And that's period.
Okay, all that's tight, but still, you guys still are trash. You still can't make the finals. It's been what?
Y'all can't make we can't make the finals with a 22-year-old homegrown star. But y'all can make the finals with the two superstars that you brought up the market that were never actually LA. No matter what
that's how you do it.
No matter what you say, Tatum is always going to be more of a Celtic, but LeBron and Anthony Davis can be more of Lakers. Those are rentals, my nigga. Those are rentals.
Okay, so look, the first thing, we're just asking for the championship. We don't care.
For sure.
We don't care. Bring the championship. That's all we care about.
Yeah, bring the chip. Fuck the freak the players. That's how y'all operate.
Yeah, that's how we operate.
That's how y'all operate. Slavers. For sure.
Whoa. You talking about? Boston is. Come on now.
Boston is not racist. Cut the cap.
Boston ain't racist. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry for overtaking that. I just need to get on my Lakers bag. Sorry.
I know. It's cool. You gave us a whole history lesson on the Celtics in the last,
hey, Bilal,
4 years.
Bilal, what do you think?
About who deserves more, like in general, like I know it's a lot of Lakers fans. Like I know some good ones, but there's a lot of bad ones where they make up their own narratives about, hey, look at this stat, we did so bad, now we're here, and over time it gets annoying. And it's kind of like putting aside other franchises, like we're doing bad, like the Bulls, like you said, Hawks, other teams. And it's not going to stop, so I don't really try to talk about it that much. Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, look. But Laker fans are not that bad.
They're awful.
Bobo's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Tyrese.
What about me? I'm worse.
Why do you think? Have you never seen on Twitter after the Lakers lose, everybody says Laker loses, America wins. Nobody likes the Lakers. Every fan base in the NBA,
American team. Look, Warriors fans are the worst in the NBA.
They're maybe the most bandwagons, but Warrior fans are better fans than others. They don't rub shit in other people's faces like the Lakers.
I don't think Look. For all these years from the height, living in the Bay Area and not being a Warriors fan, you don't know. The Warriors fans are the worst.
Maybe I don't know how it is in the Bay Area. The Lakers, really, bro. Nobody likes Laker fans except Laker fans. Like, why do you think there became so many Clippers fans? Because people were able to root against the Lakers. Niggas did not care about Kawhi like that. Niggas didn't care about Paul George. They cared about a team that was able to defeat the Lakers. Nobody likes the Lakers, bro. Every fan base hates the Lakers. And no, sorry, I know it's off topic.
Yeah, they're LeBron fans and Kobe fans, but Lakers fans now.
But do you hate the Lakers?
I see a lot of LeBron fans go to the Lakers. What?
I said, do you hate the Lakers?
No. I hate them. It's a waste of energy. I mean, a lot of fans that get on my nerves. Yeah. Pretty much bandwagon fans.
Look. I don't think Lakers fans are that bad. I don't think they're bad.
Of course you don't think that.
I don't think they're that bad. Bobo's great. Hey, every Laker fan is great.
Laker, you are a Laker fan.
Yeah, I mean they're not that bad. I'm trying to tell you, they're not that bad.
Hey,
of course, we'll talk trash because we got the most trash over the last few years.
I'm sorry,
you did not
bro.
Get the most trash over the last few. Whoa.
Hey, I know it's a little off topic, but I do want
to. 20 other teams that got it worse than you.
No.
Oh yeah, thanks. But that is true. So many other teams had it worse than you guys in the last 6 years. Like, what are you talking about? Like the Sacramento Kings. It's not that they haven't been in the finals. They haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. They have not been out of the regular season in 15 years. Like, well, bruh, there are other teams doing way worse than you. Hawks fan haven't seen the finals since when? The 80s? The 90s? The Hawks?
No, the Hawks made they made the conference finals in 2015, so they have some.
No, I said made the finals.
Yeah, they haven't been in the finals since like the 50s or some shit.
80s.
Hawks never been in the finals, right?
Oh, have
yeah,
they
20th century, yeah.
I don't think they ever been in the finals.
No, I think the Hawks have a championship, but that was like in the 70s.
Oh, they have a championship. Yeah, they do.
They have one championship in 1958. For sure.
God damn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Hawks are suffering, nigga. They have. You realize the Hawks
are trash.
You realize the Hawks haven't won a championship since segregation.
Mm-hmm.
And
y'all that's why it's not bad. They're not used to winning. That's why.
Y'all didn't talk about suffering. They haven't won a championship since segregation.
Look, when you're used to winning and you go to losing, that's worse.
Hey, bro. Everybody in
every year.
Everybody a part of Jody's channel, Jody included, was not born when the Hawks won their first championship.
Look. Nobody cares about that. Nobody was born when the Celtics won most of their championships either.
Oh, well, y'all be talking about. I hate how y'all be saying, "Oh, y'all won most of your shit," but then you guys say, "Let's ignore 2008." Nigga, we still. Y'all said, "Oh, the Celtics, they won all this shit back then." I'm like, nigga, we won one in the 21st century. What are you talking about?
You won most of them when niggas were wearing Chucks. Don't count.
We won our last championship came 2 years before you guys. Our last time in the finals was your last time in the finals. What are y'all talking about? We've been more successful as a franchise than you guys in the last 10 years, except for this year.
Don't matter. We're finna get a championship.
Oh, for sure.
That's one more than you guys got. That's one more than y'all got this year. Last year, that's one more than y'all got.
Hey, bro, I'd love to skip the grind and ask for superstars. I'd love to.
Yeah, I know. Maybe Boston should skip the grind and it'd be good. That's what you do.
So for sure. So we should trade Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Gordon Hayward away for another superstar.
Yeah. Bring Giannis.
And when that superstar says, "Hey, maybe I'm not gonna stay," and we lose that player, we only have Tatum left, and we go on a Kobe 2006 era where he has no help. What are you gonna say then? Well, at least you have that one chip from the year, nigga. We don't want to be like that. We want consistent. We want consistent domination. We don't want a ring in 3. We don't want 3 rings for 3 years and then our future is screwed. When LeBron James leaves the Lakers and Anthony Davis says, "Hey, maybe I want to leave the Lakers because I have no help in his next re-signing period," that nigga might leave the Lakers. You guys realize Anthony Davis staying with you guys after 4 years is not guaranteed. And what happens if you guys win 3 rings for the next 3 years? Y'all got 3 rings, but your future's fucked because AD has a chance of
Hey. Well, all thing we do, we just go back and look at the 3 rings. That's it.
And then you guys are back to fit like Philly, tanking for draft players to repeat the process. 3 rings, 8 years of trash. 3 rings, 10 years of trash. 3 rings, 10 years of trash. That's the type of franchise you niggas are. Garbage.
Okay, so it looks
and
like 2 minutes.
Oh, by the way, like I said, it is a little off topic, but I saw Swag Kage. I did see what you were saying earlier, and I told you, bro, that chat sucks. Don't go over there, bro. I mean, I'm not saying don't go over there. You do go over there because they have a partnership, and that shit's to ass. Awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, we know who you're talking about. But
I can say Popcorn Planet. That chat is that's trash.
Yeah, they're doing the political.
Oh yeah.
We're doing the political, and I can say a lot of things, bro. We got a lot of tapping toms that are part of Jody Jones' corner, bro. A lot of tapping foot toms. But sorry, it's off topic.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to end this anyways because McKay's on. So you got any last thoughts?
What did y'all talk about earlier? Because I came in late.
Well, we were talking about we're talking about finals predictions earlier. Then we started talking about the Clippers, and then we started talking about the what LeBron has to do to get past Jordan, and then we went on like what KD has to do to get in the top 3 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got Lakers in 7. I hear what Chi is saying, but this team reminds me of the 2011 Heat. Difference is that LeBron is 1, but they're too top heavy to me. It's just LeBron and AD, and like Dwight Howard plays good sometimes, and Rondo too. And sparks of like greatness, but I don't trust the rest of the team. But I trust a lot of the role players on the Heat, and like role players like and bench, they win championships to me. So, but they're still gonna lose because it's it's the Lakers and the tampering and
for sure. If it comes to a game 7, Lakers in 7 because they ain't not finna have LeBron lose for sure.
Okay, all right.
Keep it there.
All right, the NBA is rigged. All right,
and Lakers in 4 for those.
It is. Stop.
I want the Heat to win with nothing more in my heart, but I'm thinking Lakers in 4, bro.
Dude, I would do a party if they won. That would bring me so much joy. Of course. It sounds like some Lakers hater stuff, but it's not that. It's the fans, bro. I can't do it, bro.
The fans aren't that bad, but
Shabobo.
Kid, you got any final thoughts before we end it?
Oh, Kid is back.
Lakers in 6. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, so we got Lakers in 6, Lakers in 4, and you said Lakers in 7, Belay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you already know it's finna be Lakers in 4. It's already over.
Bruh, Tyrese.
What?
We gotta do that tier list next time.
I know we're supposed to do it, but we can do that for like next time. The next top 25 players.
I really want to do that.
Players in the NBA?
Yeah.
Wait, is it all time or just now?
No, so it's just now. So it was this year players that we were gonna do, but we can do that next time. All right, man. All right, start the outro, Kid.
Oh fuck! I forgot.
This nigga forgot.
All right, I will catch y'all later, bro. Hey man, I had a really fun time talking to y'all. Tyrese, you know what it is. Freak your team, nigga. Niggas have been suffering longer than y'all. Balad, you tight, my nigga. Sorry for your Hawks. Hope y'all get good. Kid Tyson, shout out to you. I really like OKC. SGA is a stunner.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna catch y'all later, bro. It's been fun being out here, man.
Yeah.
All right. Peace, man.
Peace, bro.
All right. Peace out, bro.
Well, I think I remember. Never mind.
This nigga forgot. All right, nigga, we gotta say his name.
Never mind.
Man. Fuck.
You can say this. Know all that, nigga.
Come on, you dropping the ball, kid. Come on, man.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that shit. We out, nigga. Deuces.
That was terrible.
Shut up, nigga. You do it then.